You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Oh, here we go. Get your... Do I not get this?
Your morning routine, Brent.
I knew it was. I thought it was from that whole thing. What is the... what? So it's the banana?
Yeah, and then the Saratoga bottle dipping your face in the water bowl.
Oh, that's a water bowl. It looks like a margarita.
Nope.
That's what threw me off. All right, we're coming out of the gates with the whole schedule.
Are we?
Yeah. The Jags will play at in week 1. I'm kidding. I'm not revealing the schedule. I don't want to do that. But I have come out of the gates with what even Hamby has, I think, confirmed already. Like, at first thought of it is a genius idea.
That was a genius idea.
I mean, this just came to my mind for the first time ever 2 minutes ago.
Walks right in, throws this on the table.
I'm retiring.
Yeah,
Today,
probably.
This will be my last show. It's time to work on a new project. Are we ready to reveal it?
I mean, we're revealing a lot of things today, so why not?
A drive-through egg place.
Yeah.
I mean, we got coffee places popping up left and right. Right? We got there's obviously the Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and everything else, but there's Iliano's. There's what's the new one they got? Like that scooter coffee is like everywhere, I think I see. Got to remember now, we drive all over the place for like ball. So those things are popping up. I think there's what's Kaylee like down in Daytona? And I think they've got them here. There's like 7 Brew or something. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we got them all over the place. Eggs are a little expensive, but eggs are like really good for you.
Yep.
And hard, like you want it fresh though. So the reason why I even thought about this is I just had a couple like hard-boiled eggs. And I don't love hard-boiled eggs, but when you're kind of like trying to eat right and stuff, they're supposed to be really good for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eggs are good for you. And so I was like, all right, I'll have that's kind of my like snack. I don't usually eat breakfast. And then a lot of times like now, especially if I'm on a little bit of a, hey, watch what I'm eating, I don't eat until 4 o'clock. I do hear Austen. Did everybody hear Austen or just me? But I don't eat till like 4 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock, and then I'll have like one meal, which I know is not really the way to do it. But so I had some 2 eggs today, and then I walked in here and I was like, drive-through egg place.
Yeah.
Like fresh hard-boiled eggs or fresh just scrambled eggs. Or like Starbucks has like these egg bites. And again, I'm talking like good stuff for you. Now, you can go bad if you want. You can have like the Egg Witch or the, what's like the best thing? The best thing that's like ever created, maybe?
The bacon, egg, and cheese?
No, is that McDonald's and the
McGriddle?
Oh, the McGriddle is so good. Oh my gosh. It is borderline. The McGriddle and Nothing Bundt Cakes are like close. But like Nothing But Cakes is actually better. Because McGriddle, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so great. And it just feels like you're about to die 3 days later when you eat a McGriddle. It doesn't feel like that if you have like a Nothing Bundt Cake. Austen, you've come in at the right time. I'm sorry to say the show will not last much longer, especially if we can never hear you or whatever. We'll find out if we can. But I'm starting up a new thing and entrepreneurial spirit, and I'm making a drive-through egg place. Boom!
Yeah, I'm not going to invest in that, man. Sorry.
Whoa.
Why not?
Think about this. Because think about this. Like, if you have a drive-through egg place, what are you going to... You can't get an omelet. You can't get scrambled eggs because someone's going to eat scrambled eggs or an omelet like on their way to work. Like, the whole point of a drive-through place is that it's supposed to be like handheld and like convenient. Like, that's what fast food restaurants are. So if I go to Whataburger, if I go to Taco Bell, I'm going to buy something I can hold in my hand and eat on the way. I'm not going to be able to hold an omelet in my hand. I'm not going to be able to hold scrambled eggs in my hand and eat at the same time. So I feel like it's kind of killing the whole philosophy of the drive-through.
Yeah, but I think you're just like I think you're just thinking about people that are like really don't care what they eat. Like I think from a hard-boiled egg or like a healthy eating like people like that stuff, right? They like the shakes and everything else. They go to the gym, they all this stuff, and so I think people like that. Eating eggs is somewhat healthy, right? Especially if you eat them in the right way without put them everywhere. But so I think because it's the healthy part of it, they will find a way. Like they will find a way. They might even have you shake that egg thing up. Scrambled eggs in a shake. Who knows? But I mean, the healthy people and then the other people, they figure out how to hold one of those sandwiches, man. Like we all figure out how to drive and eat. I can do chicken nuggets and still dip it in the sauce while I drive. A little help from my passenger. I'll figure it out. So, like, I think people will figure it out.
Oh, I've eaten
chicken nuggets. Don't need a fork though.
I've done Chipotle bowls. I've done Chipotle tacos.
Hard-boiled egg doesn't need a fork.
You're out of your mind, Hamby. If you're doing a Chipotle bowl while you're like driving, there's no way I'm not gonna like not spill on myself.
Listen,
or at least spill all over my car.
I'll just say this: if there was a drive-through egg place on the way to work, I would legitimately go every morning because I wake up at like 5:30 and I have roommates, and I don't want to wake them up by going to this stove and making a couple scrambled eggs. So if I could go through that drive-through, pay $3 or $3 for just 4 scrambled eggs,
probably a little more than that. A little more than that. But $4.99.
$4.99 for 4 eggs?
Dude, eggs are expensive right now.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna make money.
Well, and you guys need to take this into account as well. So you can be open the whole day and night, or you just open in the morning.
Nah. We're going in the morning. We're going early for the Hambies, and. I mean, we might even do this. Depends where you're at, right? Location is important here. You got to know your clientele. But I mean, we could be like a late evening snack place for Brent when he gets out of work at midnight. Oh, I'm going to grab a couple eggs because I'm a little hungry, but I don't want like that burger from Checkers. It's a dangerous place sometimes at 1 a.m, right? But you also hit the Hambies of the world, and so crazy enough, if you drive at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, there's plenty of people on the road. So you can get those people, and then you got to get the morning crowd. So I don't know exactly the hours yet. This thing just happened at 9:59. So, I mean, we're 10 minutes into this new venture.
The fact of the matter is from 10:30 or 11 till 7 a.m., not a single healthy option is available in the country.
That is true.
Because no one's worried about healthy options at that hour of night.
Well, I'm just saying. Now we get into the we're becoming more of a health and wellness. I feel like more than ever before. And we're anti-seed oils now. I got told about seed oils and all this stuff. And now apparently I can't have Chick-fil-A, and I'm kind of pissed about it.
Well, I can't have Chick-fil-A.
Well, I mean, apparently they use seed oils and all this stuff.
What's the seed oil thing? Is that
I
bad?
don't even know. I just told it was really bad for you, and they used it, and it was very frustrating for me.
I don't even know what seed oil is.
You're supposed to use like more natural oils like avocado, olive oil, things like that, because seed oils, I guess they have like a lot of different components in it that aren't healthy. They're very processed.
I got you. Underrated is like Starbucks has these egg bites, and they serve them like all day, right? So, but they, one's like a red pepper or egg bite or something they mix in there, and it's just like a scrambled egg, almost looks like a little egg patty, that you'd put in like a sandwich. And they're easy to eat, like on the road. A little sriracha sauce on there. Ooh, they're good. Sriracha. It's good. Sriracha. That's a tough one to say when you're from Rhode Island, man. That could work. I'm telling you. I think you're poo-pooing this idea way too quick, Austen.
Oh no, I definitely am, man, because I'm taking into account, all right, cost effectiveness. Are you going to stay open the entire day? Because keep in mind, McDonald's serve breakfast the entire day, and they don't serve breakfast anymore the entire day. You know why? Because people weren't about it. People want a burger or something in the afternoon or at night. So McDonald's cut out their breakfast when they thought it was going to be the best idea ever of serving it 24 hours a day. I'm just thinking, like, do you have enough handheld options? Do you have enough where people are going to be drawn to you to come on a daily basis? But y'all do your thing. I'm going to open up my mac and cheese food truck. featuring different proteins you can add, and we'll see who makes more money.
That's actually also a good idea.
That's a good idea. That's got to be out there, though, right?
Have you seen a mac and cheese food truck?
I
feel like I've eaten. I don't know if it's a food truck, but I feel like I've seen
a grilled cheese food truck in Jacksonville. I've never seen a mac and cheese truck.
I know there are like the fries trucks, right, where they'd mix other things with fries.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for some French fries too. But I feel like I've seen mac and cheese places. Maybe it's not it was more like brick and mortar places. I could be wrong on that. The Delphonic says they already have eggs at gas stations. Try again, Brent, as he shows us Big John's pickled eggs. Yeah, well, that's the problem with the eggs. Like even at Winn-Dixie or a Publix, they'll have like the hard-boiled eggs like in the package, the steel packages. I've done them before, but they're kind of like they're not really that good. Like it's like you kind of know it's not great. It's so much better when you cook the egg this morning and you eat it, or last night for the hard-boiled egg, and you get that protein in there and whatever else is good. So I'll keep working on it. I just want to say the last time somebody shot down an idea that I had, it was mobile oil changes. And it seems like a lot of people are doing those these days.
Like drive-through oil changes?
No, like come to your work and change your oil. And Casey was like, it was the worst idea ever at the old place. And now we're doing commercials about them. I might be onto something. Hey, good morning, Austin. Are you looking forward to the schedule come out? Are you paying attention to all the leaks? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, definitely looking forward to the schedule. I'm looking forward to what the Jaguars are going to unveil in their quote-unquote diss track when they release their video. Looks like the morning routine. So one could wonder, are they going to feature the Tennessee Titans in some kind of like mayo, I don't know, like facial kind of thing? So I'm excited for that, man. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hearsay right now of week one and everything. But as far as I know, the Rams-Jaguars game in London is pretty much all but confirmed, and that's all that I'm buying into right now.
Yeah, I think I've seen what have you seen? I've seen a couple of things put out there about I think I saw Arizona as week
Arizona.
one.
Yeah, I saw Arizona week one at Arizona.
I think did somebody else say something different? Or I think some people put out some primetime possibilities. I don't know. I'm not paying attention much to the leaks either. Like, I don't care. It's so funny. Our human psyche is kind of wild, right? Our human, I don't know if it's condition. I don't know what the word is, like whatever the psychology word is. But we can't keep a secret. Like, people can't keep a secret. They love to, if you think you know something that somebody else knows or doesn't know, or you think they don't know, you can't wait to tell. Like, you don't really want to tell and blurt it out like in a knowing way, but you subtly want to tell that you know. Like, there's some like ego play in either knowing something that somebody else doesn't know or thinking you know something that somebody else doesn't know, isn't there? Like, and that's why we get the leaks like that. And the schedule's like got to be the worst one because inside the building now, this is totally different than Travis Hunter, where basically until the day of. There were like 5 people that knew of the Travis Hunter deal for 2 weeks. It was like Gladstone, Cohen, Baselli, Schad, and probably like Mark Lamping. That was like it.
Yeah.
And then because they knew they couldn't share it with anybody else or it could get out. But this one's different. Like the whole media team at the Jags, like by now the wives have asked their husband coaches and everybody else, like, hey, where are we going? What's the play? They're already saying it. Like, now, that's how the leaks happen around the schedule. Like, they come out because too many people know. But isn't it amazing? Like, we really do have trouble keeping a secret as a society, I think, or as a human.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone loves to, be the guy that's clout chasing and everything. And to me, it's different because if we're talking about free agency or, like, draft rumors, like, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because, if you throw a big name in there, like, that's going to catch like wildfire. I don't really understand the schedule leaks because, like, we know they're coming out Wednesday, so like we'll all see them. So like, I don't know how much you have to gain by putting it out Tuesday evening. Like, oh, here's the schedule. Like, okay, and like here's your follow. I guess like is it that impressive? Like to me it's not. But I mean, if you got someone saying, oh yeah, the Jaguars are going to sign this free agent like a month beforehand, well then yeah, man, I'm going to give you your props and everything. I can't get like that excited about the schedule. I mean, we know who they're going to play. We know if it's going to be a home or away game. So let's just, let the chips fall where they may, and we'll keep on living our lives.
I got a schedule leak here for this from Zach Klein up in Atlanta. NFL seems to believe in the Atlanta Falcons this year. League sources tell me Falcons will have 2 Monday night football games, Bills and Rams, both at home, and 2 Sunday night football games, the Vikings and the 49ers, both on the road. Why the hell would the Atlanta Falcons have 4 primetime games?
Ain't happening.
Yeah, you see, I believe Cooper Kupp coming to Jacksonville more back in the day than I did that.
I mean, hey, this is why people leak it out. 93,000 whatever views on it or something like that. People love getting a good tweet. As I always say about the good tweet, man, doesn't make any money. That tweet doesn't usually make any money. You find a way to make me money, I'll be leaking the crap out of this stuff if you can. If you hit 100,000 and you can make money off it, but so would everybody else probably. It's. I kind of like the waiting game in a sense. Like I'd rather see it all unfold at one time. It's not one that I want to put the puzzle pieces together, and maybe that's just the nature of what we do. Or I don't have time to sit there on Twitter all day and look at and marry it up. One, I'd rather guess because I think guessing's kind of fun and see what they should do or would do. And two, I just like, okay, tell me the damn thing, so I can get the whole deal going. That's that. I don't need to know. Now, we'll probably know earlier in the day that we can't say until 8 o'clock because we usually give us a heads up where we can at least graphically set things up, from a producing standpoint. We'll see if we get that. But there will definitely be an embargo, as we call it in the business, until 8 o'clock tonight. And then NFL Network, I think, has the release show. We do, too. We're doing an Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network 1-hour NFL schedule release show. And I do think it's significant, as we talked about yesterday. So where do they go? How does it match up? What are the tough parts of the schedule? What are the fun parts of the schedule, too, for the fans? Do we get primetime games? Always of interesting notes. So we'll keep an eye on it. And Hamby, let us know if we get any leaks on the schedule, all right?
I might come in with a buzzer.
So, right, yeah, I mean, because we could do this and match it up. So by the end of the show, do you think we could get like 3/4 of the schedule done?
No.
From a leak standpoint, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Oof, by 1 o'clock, man, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of people trying to hold a secret. I think we got a chance.
Brent, do we know what time the schedule is actually supposed to officially release?
I think it's 8. Yeah, 8.
8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Well, get out of here with that. Trying to, and I get there's probably money. I'm sure ESPN's got 5 different specials they're going to feature NFL Network as well. But it's crazy how we got to wait throughout the whole day and then to prime time to unveil the schedule.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good call. I just think they made it such a show, right? Which everything's a show in the NFL. I'm going to ask you guys one more thing. Well, actually, I think Hamby had a question too about. Well, I'll get to his question in a minute, but I'm going to ask you guys if you take a look at. Do you have the opponents, Hamby?
Yeah,
pretty handy. I know we've shown that a couple times. Austin, if you could make fun of one team on here, which way would you go on the Jags opponent list? Okay. And I'll let you know. You got so you got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers.
I can see them.
Okay. So is there anybody out that sticks out that you'd be like what you said about the Mayo and Tennessee? Is there a subtle dig you can take at any of these teams in a fun video?
Obviously, you got to go with the Mayo and Tennessee. I can go to Seattle and start making fun of ghosts and Sam Darnold, even though Sam Darnold kind of proved that he doesn't see ghosts anymore. I mean, if we really want to get, a little crazy, we can go with the Texans and, like a cheap shot or something like that. The Jets, you can do something with Aaron Rodgers leaving. And what else we got? Yeah, those are the big ones. I mean, if you want to go with the Bengals and do something with Joe Burrow or maybe Trey Hendrickson, but that's kind of a deep cut now because that just came out how he's a little upset he's not getting his contract. So yeah, man, there's a couple of things you can do.
All right. Did you see is the Dilla leak a good one, or some people are picking it up? Like I've said this, I don't even know who this is. Aussie NFL. You ever hear that? People are aggregating some of these, and it's Chiefs Jaguars Monday Night Football game. If that's right,
that would be awesome.
Do we know what week that is?
Do the Chiefs ever play at 1:00 on Sunday?
Heck no.
Nah.
Like, that's going to be the worst.
No.
Like Andy
Sookie's
Reid,
got to sleep in, man.
Andy Reid must hate that schedule like every year. You know, I mean, they're playing on Christmas. They're playing on They just don't play in the afternoon. I don't think. If even the Jags game is going to be a prime timer potentially. So that's one of the leaks out there. So Hamby asked a good question. What if there was one game on the schedule you wish you knew? Which would it be? Would it be like an opener? Would it be, okay, tell me what primetime game it is? Would it be something around the holiday? Because like we say, like our schedule gets set by this. We know the London one, but I don't really think the London one impacts people's lives any, right? Like, so is there, like, what are we most interested in as a fan of the NFL or the Jags? Who they start with, who they finish with, a holiday game? What do you got? What do you think?
I mean, I think, from the majority of the Jaguars fan base, I think primetime games are big, right? Because that's just kind of something you can tout your team. Like, look, we got a primetime game. If you're asking me, though, personally, I'm probably most concerned about the first game of the season. Just because, if it's an easier opponent, can you start with great momentum? If it's a harder opponent, could it be a rough game? So I'm probably more keyed into the first game of the season. And like, it's funny when I saw the supposed leak of the Jaguars playing Arizona week 1 in Arizona, it did nothing for me. Like, probably a winnable game, but I saw that and just went, kind of, I don't know why I found that game so boring, but like it did nothing for me.
Yeah, I feel you there. I think that's accurate. Like, I wasn't like, oh, awesome.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you one in a minute, but Hamby, what do you think? Answer your own question.
I think the week 1 is a big one. I think around the holiday too, especially Christmas, end of year, because a lot of people just already have time off. So if you were able to fit a little trip in there, I don't know what that would be, like week 14, 15?
Yeah,
maybe
15, 16.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Right around the Christmas, if we were to play on Christmas, I know Christmas I think is on a Thursday this year, or maybe a Friday. But I think that one's a big one because people already have time off and are looking to kind of, if we could do Christmas on a Friday and then we have the weekend, to go on a Sunday to an away game or something like that, we take another day off on Monday, then we got a 5-day vacation right there, and we only took one PTO there, something like that. I think finding a weekend where you already have an embedded kind of day off is a big one for people trying to get to away games.
Yeah, I say the one that, from a personal standpoint, because like sometimes we'll take the family on one road trip. We've done that over the years, and I would say like Thanksgiving weekend for us, like that way, is one that we can manage. The kids, now even being in college, are home on Thanksgiving weekend. Friday night football stuff is wrapping up. It's in the playoffs, but we don't have the blitz anymore, so we can actually take that Friday and figure it out. And so, like, I know we've done it in the past where, like, we've gone to Arizona for that weekend, leave on, like, a Wednesday night, come back on Sunday night or whatever. So I would say, personally, like, that's a good call, Hamby. I think if you go to any games, you try to squeak out where you can get that extra day of work or fits the schedule to take 3 or 4 days to hopefully a good destination. The one that I actually am looking forward to the most, I think, though, guys, is the Denver game. And the reason why I say that is because of all the Travis Hunter Colorado stuff. I think there's going to be something cool about that, like that whole thing about him going back there. He's such a big name there. And obviously Denver's a fun place for fans. Denver's a pretty good team anyway. And I think a good measuring stick if you've taken a jump, because I don't think they're running away with anything. We got a schedule leak.
We have a schedule leak. We have from Jordan Schultz saying that the Jaguars will play the Panthers in week 1.
Very good. Maybe good.
That's a home game to start it.
Hey, you like that, Austin, if that was the case?
Yeah.
Like it better than the Cardinals, absolutely. Let's go.
And by the way, what you feel like if you're a fan is like, let's go, 1-0.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
The Panthers are
without a doubt, man. And plus, like, it's interesting, right? Because you got Travis Hunter, Ted McMillan, so there's like a storyline there a little bit.
Yeah, good. I forgot about that. 2 number 1 picks, obviously, with Bryce Young and Trevor Lawrence. So you have that as well. And I think somebody said this to me. 30th anniversary of Panthers Jags Hall of Fame, Mr. Pico said, which ironically was the last time the Jags had a Heisman winner, and they had two, Howard and Ware, on that team. So maybe there's some significance of that. These two teams playing in the opener, they can kind of push that one, even though I don't think it will be a national game that collects a lot of attention. So, hey, we'll see if... So now we've got two. Arizona, Carolina. We'll see which one's right. Good. I don't know if I love the sounder there, Hamby, but I appreciate the effort.
I didn't hear anything from like the buzzer.
Yeah, you probably can't. You won't be able to hear it where you are. It's one of those deals sometimes that you can't hear it, but it's very quick. It's almost like, hey, beep your horn right now.
All right. Did you
I
hear
didn't hear it. No.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
That's funny. I didn't hear it. That's why. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to beep it too much. People don't like walk by me wondering what's going on. So
yeah, that's okay. We can
because we're locked into your headphones.
Just so you know, that's what it sounded like. Hey, before we take a break. Well, we'll keep you a little. Let's take a little bit later break before you got to get out of here and get to a workout. So a couple of things. Pete Rose story. Do anything to you, Austin? You're a baseball guy, a Brewers guy. You're not a Reds guy, but does the Pete Rose posthumous now eligible to be reinstated to the game, which now makes him eligible for the Hall of Fame? Does it resonate at all? How do you feel about it? Do you feel any certain way about it?
I mean, I think it's a great start for Major League Baseball and how they should address this Hall of Fame. Brent, we've had this conversation before a little bit, but I think the goal of the Hall of Fame is one day if I take my son, and I show him like, hey, this is what I grew up with. Like, this is the history of baseball right here. Like, and I didn't really grow up with Pete Rose per se. He's a little before my time, but like, I want to show him like, all right, Pete Rose was the hit king. I want to show him Barry Bonds at one time. Like they refused to pitch to him. I want to show him, that the summer was Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. Like, I understand that the Hall of Fame has got to be built on stats and accolades and, the fine line between morally right and morally wrong if you cheated or not. But I think the main goal of the Hall of Fame should be to showcase the history, to showcase some of the biggest players and the biggest moments in Major League Baseball. And Pete Rose had that. I think Barry Bonds had that. And we've talked about it before, too. Whether you want to have like a cheater's wing or a steroid wing, it doesn't matter. Because at the time, that was some of the biggest things going on in baseball. And for the Major League Baseballers to go, you know what? You can't come to this house. You can't come in here and set up shop because, you quote unquote cheated. You can't erase history. It's the same thing like when Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken away. Okay, you can take his Heisman away? I can go on YouTube right now and watch all his highlights from college. Remember, Reggie Bush was definitely the best college football player that year. So to me, it makes zero sense to hold these guys out of the Hall of Fame because we all have memories, Brent. We all have brains, and we can go back there and watch, at that time, that dude was crushing it. So I think it's a great start for Pete Rose. Now when we talk about the whole steroid era and everything, I'm curious to see how they handle it. And maybe that's a conversation for down the line. But I think having Pete Rose in is a great start.
Hamby, young guy. Pete Rose, never saw him play, probably not as enthralled with the idea of Pete Rose. You didn't collect baseball cards of Pete Rose like, I did or we did or whatever. Not that I watched probably Pete Rose play toward the end of his career and didn't even know it maybe. So there was that part. But this was obviously a big story when I was a kid. Today's day and age, it would be a huge story when I was a kid because we'd have social media and everything else. I didn't even have cable, so I probably didn't pay attention to the story as much as reading it in the newspaper. But what's your view on the whole Pete Rose thing?
Well, I think here's my thing is that it doesn't have to be tied to the steroid guys. And I think those are two separate conversations, and because they're two completely different things. I don't think Pete Rose obviously had any advantage by betting on himself, by betting on his own team, by betting on his own, record and anything like that. Like, it had no impact on the game. It had no impact on his performance. So that's what we're measuring. I think, especially with the Hall of Fame, you're measuring how good a player was and, what he meant to the game of baseball. And for that reason, I'm glad that he's in. But in my opinion, I don't think it's necessarily, I think most people are in the, hey, better late than never. I'm just not, I don't know if it's that, I don't know if that's the case. Is it really better late than never? Like, I almost feel like since they've stood on this for 30 years, they should just freaking keep going. Like, what's so different now? And I get that, the fact that you didn't do this last year, you didn't do this before he died. It's just like, man, if you're going to stay in that camp, I almost wish you just keep going.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things here, right? It's pretty clear that Manfred and baseball and the respect to Giamatti and everything else years ago and the commissioners since, they were not going to give Pete Rose this thing right here in Cooperstown to have the glory and also say whatever he would say, because he was a volcano when it comes to that, right? He's very unpredictable, and you didn't know if he would gracefully even accept. They did not want to give him that. So there's almost like this thought that they were like, hey, once you pass, we'll probably lift this. Like, that's like the feeling that I've got, that it was almost like this handshake agreement, but you ain't getting it while you're alive. And then I don't know, because I have a hard time, like, I don't know how we can feel this way, right? Like, I would, for some people, when somebody passes, they really want closure to a thing like this, or they really go harder to battle for their dad. Like, that's what happened with Pete. Like, the Rose family had brought this back up. Like, okay, are you going to lift this now, right? And so they fought for it, and I think it was very important for them, and maybe other families like Shoeless Joe Jackson along the way, that this was very important to them. So much like if you saw some of the articles, Bob Nightingale wrote one, and I totally just disagree with him, and that's okay to disagree. I just disagree with him. That he got Bart Giamatti's son, and I think he has a couple of sons, and he was saying this is a disgrace, right? Like, it's an awful thing because they want to protect their dad's legacy of making this decision, right? And they want that to hold up. So there are a lot of those kind of feelings in this. I've never wavered in my feeling of this, and much like Austen said, we've had these conversations over the years. Listen, most people when they pass away, even if the person wasn't the greatest person of all time, they kind of come off after they pass, or when they pass, like they were a very good person, people, human being. Like, Pete Rose still doesn't come off like that. Like, let's be honest. Like, I mean, people know Pete Rose was not the greatest human. Like, he was not easy to get along with. He was never really contrite about all this stuff. Like, there's all that with Pete Rose. Absolutely. But like Austen said, to me, this thing ain't about that. I mean, if it is, then they better start removing people who have now checkered pasts, like, after their playing career too, right? If we're going to get into the human element of this and how nice people are and, did they abide by everything? Yeah, he made a lot of mistakes. He could have handled this way differently. I'm not in the corner of Pete Rose in that respect, but I have always said kind of what Austen said. You should be able to bring your kid to Cooperstown. That's a museum for the game, along with an honor of great players. Pete Rose is part of the history of the game in many respects, and he's also a great player that belongs in the Hall of Fame if none of this happened. Same with the steroid guys, and I believe that. I think that should be true too. So, and it's almost more, I have two major problems with Major League Baseball. One of them is we know they knew what was going on in the steroid era. So they can't sit here on their high horse and be the almighty when it comes to what's good and what's bad and throwing the word integrity around like it's a big deal. And now they're in bed with all these gambling outfits because they get money for it. Like, I don't know how you can do both. And sure, you can still denounce the gambling within the game. That should not happen. But I don't know how you can say, oh, but this is different and this is different, but this was totally wrong, and just hold people forever. Here's the other thing, guys. Like, he kind of paid his, I don't know if he fully paid the price for it, but it seems like these guys have paid the price for a long time, right? I just don't understand why something like this, when we're talking about, forget about all the other transgressions with Pete Rose and everything. We're talking about betting on baseball and his baseball career, why this was a life without parole kind of sentence. Like, I don't understand that. I don't think when you're marrying it up to other things. So, listen, I've been saying this for years. Austin, we've had this conversation. I guess things don't change. So for me, my initial question is like, yeah, I still feel a certain way. Like, I feel this should have happened a while ago. This is the next step. Good for the families. And does this open, what people are afraid of, Austin, is this opens the door for like the steroid guys. Heck, I hope it opens the door for the steroid guys. Like, it should open the door for the steroid guys. And that one is a different story because Major League Baseball, what they knew and didn't know is a big factor in that. And I don't know why nobody's ever done it. Why hasn't anybody done that? Like, we know they turned their cheek. We know for 8 years they didn't know what was going on. Come on, they knew baseball had to be saved. Like, everybody knows that. Where's the 30 for 30 on that? And where's the culpability for Major League Baseball as an organization in that, and to blame all these other guys? Listen, they made it normal, right? As normal as they make home runs now, and that's why we got guys that all they do is hit home runs and bat 240. They made steroids normalized in that era. And the only guys that pay for it are basically the guys that, well, the only way to survive in the big leagues was to take them. Not saying they're not getting them off the hook for it. I think it was wrong. It was awful for the game, everything else. But how can we dismiss the fact that those guys also saved the game at the same time, at least in the eyes of Major League Baseball and many others?
Yep, without a doubt, man. I mean, it's with any museum. You can't just cater to certain parts of history. You know, you have to tell the entire story. And the steroid era was a giant part of baseball history. Was it right? Was it morally right? Probably not. Did the Major League Baseball know what was going on? Yes, probably. So just going back to my old point, you just can't rewrite history. Like, you have to acknowledge all of it. And there was one point where Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, all those dudes were the biggest thing in baseball. They
biggest
were
thing in
printing money.
sports.
Yeah, biggest thing in sports. So you can't just ignore that. You can't just bypass that.
All right. One other topic to hit before you get out of here and get your thoughts. By the way, on the Pete Rose thing, people do feel a certain way. Like, they really do. Like, it's either, and again, they bring up other things. Again, he wasn't a great guy. Like, I'm not trying to compare Pete Rose to Tiger Woods, but it's like, I love Tiger Woods, the golfer. There's nothing about me that loves like Tiger Woods, the person, the transgressions, the anything else that's gone on. Like, I can separate the two, you know, and he's not getting all these accolades for the rest of his life because of the guy he was. That for damn sure. Now, he didn't, I'm not saying he bet on it or did some of the things that Pete did either. But I mean, when do we draw the line at being a good guy versus being a hell of a player? In sports, I think we can't just pick and choose, to your point. All right, there's an article by, who did this article? Ben Solak on ESPN. He went back and looked at last year's receivers, the 2024 class. And we'll get right to the point on this. He breaks down a bunch of them. And he asks questions like, is Ladd McConkey a true number one? Great find by them, by the way. But is Brian Thomas Jr. the next great receiver? What a question to be asking. I mean, there have been a lot of bad things, Austin, in Jacksonville. What a cool question to be asking in year number 2, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. It makes Jacksonville look even better, and obviously I think it's justifiable. The biggest thing going forward is he's shown all the promise as a rookie, and it's ironic because it took, you know, a lot of injuries and everything for Brian Thomas Jr. to finally get showcased like we wanted him to be all along. So, yeah, I think he could be the next big thing. But the question going forward now is, well, how does Travis Hunter fit in that role? How does this Jaguars offense to the run game fit in the role as well? But I think going here, Brent, so I'll let you guys talk about it a little more. And I'll see you guys on the other side.
All right, sounds good. Have a good workout. Hamby, what does he have to do to become the next great receiver?
Well, he's got to be able to work double teams. He's got to continue to stretch the field as he did. And I think you could argue with better quarterback play, pretty much what he did last year is good enough to be a great receiver. Like, to be the next great receiver. That was just for much of the year. I mean, it didn't matter how open he was down the field. The ball, wasn't going to find its way to him.
Yeah, here's what it says. Just the blurb, if you will. Blurb's a good word. I really think Thomas, a first-round pick for Jacksonville in 2024, is one of the 10 best receivers in football last year. The numbers say 1282, 10 touchdowns. That doesn't mean he will be again this year, or that he's a top 10 receiver overall. Fair enough. Development is not linear, and the Jaguars just had an offensive coaching staff change and drafted Travis Hunter. With that said, ... holy smokes. Great line. Thomas can flat out fly, hit a top speed of 22.15 on the 85-yard touchdown against the Colts. One of the most hilarious plays of the season, by the way, which it kind of was, when the layout Superman dive of the tackle by Turpin. Oh, let me finish the sentence, all right, before we get the schedule leak. Only Turpin registered a faster speed, by the way. That was my bad. Thomas weighs roughly 1.35 Turpins at 205 pounds. I get it. Even more impressive is his ability to track, adjust, and fight for the football downfield. I think we did learn that. We learned that early. Remember, did they play Kansas City in the preseason? I think they did. And he caught one ball, I think, against the Chiefs in the preseason. I think it was the Chiefs. And he battled for it. It was like a 40-yard play, or maybe it was a 24-yard play.
Or was it the Falcons?
Maybe it was the Falcons. I don't think. I thought he played. Maybe it was the Falcons. It doesn't matter. He had one catch, I think it was, and it was like a 50-50 ball, and he battled for it, and he got it. And that was cool. And he started to do that even more. Thomas gave star corner Christian Gonzalez more difficulty than any other receiver Gonzalez faced last season. Thomas makes catches look easy. Remember the one against Cleveland, I think, way down the middle of the field. Ball tracking adjustment at full speed through contact, eye-popping. He never needs to downshift, rarely loses to size, nor should he. 6'4", 205 pounds, with an almost an 80-inch wingspan. The full menu of field-stretching routes, post verticals, are available. Jags realized what they had. They started to run him on more deep crossers, overs, to take advantage of his breakaway speed. Thomas does not play at reckless speeds. I think that's a great, observation. He really doesn't. He plays under control. Nor is he limited to linear routes, which means, and that's what everybody thought he would be. He was just a go ball guy. Not the case. He shows a slant against the Dolphins in the first game of the year. Compare what Thomas is able to do in this route to, he's breaking down a route. I'm not going to do that. All right, let's see what else we say. Thomas also did all of this in a total mess of a Jaguars offense, which is both a feather in his cap and context for his dominance, which I agree with. And we said that. They started to force feed him the ball at the end of the year. Where does this all come naturally? Thomas got a 25.3% target share, 9th highest in the league last season. Important to note. That will probably come down. We would think that would come down. And the raw production might dip in the future even if the efficiency stays up. Fair enough. If we redrafted the 2024 draft tomorrow, I'd pretty comfortably take Thomas as the first receiver off the board. Prototypical size, atypical speed, far more advanced technical skills than I gave him credit for during the season. I think we're going to talk about him as a perennial top 5 receiver, the way we talk about Chase and Jefferson within the next 2 or 3 years. Ben Solak, welcome to Jacksonville, key to the city. I mean, seriously, when you get the thought of that, see, I got to be honest with you. I don't let myself do that in Jacksonville. I've been here 17 years, and I don't do that. I don't do that with every player, even around the league. I really say, all right, give me another year. People wanted to do this to C.J. Stroud.
Sure.
And C.J. Stroud, I was like, whoa, that's cool. Like, it was really good. It was eye-poppingly good. Kudos. But let's not put him in the Hall of Fame yet. The league corrects. And so I will say the same thing about Brian Thomas Jr. There were a lot of things that actually went pretty well for him, even in a bad year, including that target rate, including having to play catch-up all the time. The Jaguars will probably not throw the ball as much as they did last year, and when they do, they won't have Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and Gabe Davis all hurt.
Right.
They will have Travis Hunter now part of the equation, and others. So Now,
Let me ask
that
you-
doesn't mean he can't produce, but I just think when you get to the realm, it doesn't matter. We're in a fantasy football world. When you're asking a guy to be like Chase and Jefferson, you're asking them to get 1,300, 1,500, 1,700 yards these days and double-digit touchdowns, which also comes with 80-plus catches at the very least. Realistically, can he do that in the current phase of this offense? And now what you said, Hamby, with defenses really tracking him, or will they be able to track him when they have Hunter on the other side, is a fair question too.
Yeah, there's so many factors to this and variables, but I think the question is, he caught 87 balls last year. Is he going to catch more or less in 2025? And obviously, he's going to be doubled more. That would decrease, right? He was targeted, ninth most in the league, according to, who was that? Whatever you just read, ninth most in the league. You would expect that to come down. At the same time, Brentford, 2/3 of the season, he was getting, it seemed like 5 targets a game, and we belabored the point. We were calling for it time and time again. If what Liam Cohen said is true, and if he sticks with it, the offense is going to run through Brian Thomas Jr. Well, then there's not going to be a game where he has 4 targets, where he has, in the Vikings game, he had 2 catches and 3 targets. Like, this wasn't just the Vikings game. He didn't have double-digit targets till the 10th game of the year against Houston. Right? So, he's probably not going to have 13, 14 every single week like he did the last stretch of the season, but he's going to have a lot more in the first half. So, I think that as long as the offense runs through Brian Thomas Jr., I would still take the over on more than 87 catches.
Yeah.
And beating that out from last year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you bring up some really good points. I think important to note, there are 2 things that really catch my attention. One of them you just said. It was in the introductory news conference for Liam Cohen. This is his offense, how he envisions it. And, of course, he's done some more work on this offense now. He was in a spot where he was talking about what he knew, and he had done some work on the offense, but he hadn't gone into the weeds of it here in Jacksonville. But he said this offense is going to run through Brian Thomas Jr. And the reason why he was comfortable in that is because he acknowledged, man, this guy wasn't just a guy that could run go routes. He can run everything. We can play him in the slot and everything else. So that news conference was pretty critical. And then the other one is, and one of this was on the podium, what we've played before, and the other one I just talked to Liam after one of the news conferences a little bit more about this. And when he first saw him on the field in practice a couple weeks ago, this was just a couple weeks ago, his eyes lit up. So, like, what he saw on film, and then when he saw him, like, the real human being in person, he was like, whoa, right? And that's a cool deal now. Like, so the guy that he saw on film, the guy that put up these numbers, the guy that, like, we're going to run that offense through him. Now you actually saw it, and you're like, oh, that's even better than I thought. Like, that's a pretty good reason to think that they are really going to use him.
Right.
Now, again, I am not putting this on Brian Thomas Jr. to go top 5 in the league as a Jordan Jefferson and a Chase. I don't really think you need that. It would be nice to have it, but you don't need that to win football games in the National Football League. And just a couple of things here. Let's just bring up Jefferson, who is obviously the cream of the crop. One, you got to stay healthy. He's missed, in 23, he missed 7 games. But other than that, he's played just about every game. I think he missed one in 2020, his rookie season. 88 for 1,400, 7 touchdowns. I mean, Brian was not that far off that. The next one, 108 for 16, 10 touchdowns. 128, 1,800, 8 touchdowns. Then obviously he had the injured year, so the numbers come down. And then last year, 103 catches for 15, 33, and 10 touchdowns. Again, I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. needs to do that. I think he needs to probably be in that 1,250 range, probably that 80-plus catch range, and probably somewhere between 7 and 10 touchdowns annually to start to get in the conversation of these guys. So you don't have to have 1,800 yards. You don't have to approach 2,000 yards. But I think you need to have the highlights, right? You need that catch down the middle of the field against, I think it was Cleveland. You need the 85-yarder against Indianapolis a couple of times a year. Game-changing plays. And then obviously the consistency to get into this, to be able to get that kind of love. And I'm just not predicting. I think that's a lofty thing to predict. He can still be right in the next tier. So say 7 to 15 in the league, and the numbers might be 1,100, 1,200, and 6 to 8 touchdowns. So very marginal, but there is a difference between getting up there in that Chase and Jefferson category. But man, just the thought of him being able to do that, and some people believe in that, is pretty awesome. All right, give us your update. What do you got? Schedule leak.
Supposedly the Jags are going to have a primetime game against the Chiefs week 5 on Sunday night.
Oh, so so more people are saying that now?
More people are saying it.
Wait, that's Monday night, isn't it?
This says Sunday.
Oh, so you saw Sunday. I heard Monday.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we're schedule release 8 o'clock tonight. The Jags are playing either the Cardinals in week 1 or the Panthers in week 1, depending on who you believe. Week 5, they got a Monday night game against the Chiefs or a Sunday night game against the Chiefs. Potentially. Here in Jacksonville. Depends who you believe. All right. The leaks keep coming. And we keep talking about the schedule tonight. And also we'll visit with UNF softball and JU baseball today here on the show. Hang with us. We're just getting rolling. Plus a little Daniel Griffiths article on actionsportsjacks.com. So much more fun ahead. Thanks for hanging with us. Hey, 52 minutes before the first break. Commercial-free hour. We should start touting that like some radio stations do, you know. Commercial-free, 10 o'clock hour on a Wednesday here on the Brent and Austen Show. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater, plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles U Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker's Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
This one we do know, right? Chiefs Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day. Aren't the Chiefs playing on Christmas Day too? So they're playing Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Every primetime game.
How hard do you think that is? See, I think that's pretty difficult. I remember there was one year, I think it was 2021. Maybe it was 20. Maybe it was 21. I don't know. I think it was recent. And Jags scheduled, every game was at 1 o'clock other than the London game, which was like really 2:30 London time. And I was like, I bet they love that because like these guys are creatures of habit. You know, like that's a real deal thing. Routine is a big thing. And I tell you, that's tough, man. Like I said the other day on the show, I think that the Jags couldn't handle the schedule the one year because it was unique. It was different. They had to bring it every game. Like that was something that they just weren't used to. Well, my goodness, you got to get used to something like that. Like if you're good, you're good. You can play, like I say, on the moon. But to do what the Chiefs do what the Patriots had to do, to play all these different games. I think there was a time last year they played 3 times in 12 days. And then there was another time where they had like 18 days off or something, or one game in 18 days because of that. So there's a front end and a back end of that. That's pretty interesting. You all right in there?
Yep.
I could go pick you up off the floor?
No.
Yeah. We're going to go over to UNF in just a little bit. And the softball team, they continue to make big announcements and have some good news as they get ready for their softball regionals. Give us a wedding update, Hamby.
Dude, I mean, 48 hours we'll be at the venue.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah. How about that? What do you want to know? I mean,
well, what's your today's to-do list?
A lot more moving today.
I mean, you're way more concentrated on the moving than you are the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I got my suit, everything laid out, ready to go, and I got to pack for the honeymoon today. And yeah, text my groomsmen to make sure they show up. That's on the to-do list. Make sure they got rides and everything all figured out because they're coming from a lot of different places. So, yeah.
We got people throwing around the word official like it's the word exclusive here in this town. So apparently just because, one of the folks in town saying it's official now because Schultz reported it that the Jags are playing the Panthers. Jordan Schultz if he reports it, it's official. See that locked in as an insider? I don't know if I've given him Ian Rappaport Schefter treatment yet.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I am. He's not on that same tier.
But it's the same people that throw the word exclusive around when it's not. So, come on.
A little premature there.
Do better, kids.
Yes, Glency. Yes, it does.
8 o'clock will be the official announcement.
I got 3 baseball topics for you, Brent.
Oh, really?
You got 3 of them. But first of all, how old are you?
48 in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Rich Hill, 45 years old, is signing with the Royals.
Wow, he's still going, huh? That lefty out of the pen.
If he's able to make the team, this would be his 14th club.
Wow. What's the record? He's like Ryan Fitzpatrick of baseball.
If he makes it, it would tie the record with Edwin Jackson.
Huh.
14 clubs.
I like that they picked the Red Sox uniform.
Yeah, I don't know why he's... I guess.
All right, let's do this. Has he played for the entire AL East?
He hasn't played for the Blue Jays.
Oh, man. That was close, though. We almost had it.
Yeah.
How about the, let's see, what's next? The Central Cleveland Twins.
Royals.
Maybe. Oh. We can't get him.
More AL teams than NL, but...
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
He's never played for a team in the NL East.
Mets.
Oh, that's right. I missed it. 45 years old, Brent. 3 years younger than you, and is trying to make another comeback to pitch in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. And Mr. Pico says Jamie Moyer kind of, I think if you throw, if you're crafty, right, you can pitch for a long time. Like Moyer he threw 86.
Remember that old commercial where he was doing a bullpen and they threw that change. He threw a change up, and they put in slow mo and they were doing the radar, and it was it wasn't in miles per hour. You remember that?
I don't remember it.
That was a classic.
I'd have to look at it. I don't remember. I vaguely remember him in a spot, but I don't remember the actual curveball. What else you got? I mean, the actual commercial. What? I
got this.
Oh, I was wondering about this. Oh, just run, Acuna. You hit it off a minor leaguer, damn it.
One more time.
Where is he playing?
Like their rookie ball.
I saw that one of the Atlanta stations went down and covered that.
As they should.
Really?
As they should.
That surprised me that they went and covered it.
And Brent, just so you know, yes, he did pimp that, and he's...
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I was just kidding about that.
But there's a lot of...
He doesn't know how to hit a home run and just run to first base.
No,
just to let you know. I mean, that's now so ingrained. That's normal reaction. That wasn't hey,
he doesn't know how to set the bat down.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of videos of him in the dugout on the top rail the entire... At different points in the game.
Yeah, I saw that's cool.
Locked into everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, that's good stuff. So that was down in Sarasota, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Ty almost played over in that complex this summer, which would have been kind of cool. There's a bunch of big leaguers over there that put on a summer league, which we're going to talk about today on No Gate Fees, the summer league stuff. So we will have a little bit of that and catch everybody up on high school baseball and softball. All right, what else you got for me? You got one more?
Well, I do, but real quick, the Braves are now at 500.
Yeah, they're in a good spot.
There was a part of me, Brent, that was rooting because, they would get to one game under and then lose to fall to 2, and they've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. Part of me was honestly hoping that they would do that until late July, because that's what they did in 2021 when they won the World Series, when they finally got to 500 like the second week of July, or the second or third week of July. So there might have been points where I wasn't all that upset if we lost in the last 2 weeks. I got one more for you. Javi Baez is hitting 320.
Glad you brought this up.
5 pumps. I think he's got 25 runs batted in. I mean, it's a resurgence of... I mean, this should be a bigger story.
Hard to do.
And
hard to do in this sport. When you've been down for a few years, it looks like you're done, kind of done.
He looked done for multiple years.
Yeah, a few years. He was once the most. What I love about this little segment here, and I don't like the fact that he hit a home run on a bad pitch to win the game against the Red Sox. And Detroit's just, what a great story they are.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, they're very good. And Baez is a big part of that. But what is cool about what you just brought up is I think you just mentioned, and you've got the comeback story of the two most electric players in the game.
Rich Hill and Javi Baez.
Acuna and Baez are two of the most fun guys to watch in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose that in the NBA and you lose that in the NFL, it's a big deal. Well, it's not as big a deal, doesn't seem like in Major League Baseball, but it's nice that they're both having some resurgence. And yes, Glenn sees you right. Arlington Country Day grad, Javi Baez, who's not a local guy, but we kind of adopt him as a local guy. And he's a fun player to watch. Like, I don't know Javi, but I always thought during that stretch when he was playing well with the Cubs that he was the most exciting player. And then you'd have other people say, nah, it's Acuna. And, it's because we got a lot of Braves fans around here. But I seriously, I love the fact that Javi's playing well, and he's playing well for a good team, so people are talking about him. That's good for baseball, and Acuna coming back will be good for baseball. And the fact that the Braves aren't sitting there at like 10-30, and they've come back. They've played their worst baseball of the year, right? So they're going to be in the middle of it, as they should be with that team that they have. So, good stuff around the sport of baseball right now. Really, you do have some good stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because, look at what Judge is doing. So you have your stars. Is Trout coming back soon, or is he going to be out forever again?
I
don't think it's a major one.
No,
though,
I think it's
right?
like another at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Be nice if he could actually stay healthy, and we could throw that in the good story column. Shohei's hitting walk-offs. Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting walk-offs. The Padres are good. Padres are an exciting team. I know they're out west, but if you talk about exciting people to watch play the game of baseball, they are exciting. Skeens is at least doing his thing. So the people that we thought would be good are delivering, right, in terms of individuals. And then you've got your teams and everything else. But the stars are doing their part in baseball right now. Glenn, see, the Mets ain't running away with anything.
They're not doing that. That's official.
It is a good time. I was thinking of this. A good time to be a New York fan, right? The Knicks are playing well. The Mets have played well. The Yankees are, they're in first, and they've got Judge, and I still think they're kind of like, okay, what's going to happen? They're not running away with anything.
Sure.
Did you see? I think I saw this. The draft. We were talking about the NBA draft, but the NHL draft lottery. The Islanders actually won it.
Okay.
Right. So some fun stuff going on in New York. If you're a New York sports fan, which I am not. So there is that. All right. There's your baseball. Good work.
Yes, sir.
We don't have softball up yet, do we?
Not yet.
We'll have that in a minute. Where else was I going with that before? Got any more leaks? We actually do, but we're not going. Maybe here's what I'm thinking. Maybe the Jags should just let Dilla release it.
It's his day.
Somebody's obviously giving Dilla the stuff inside, and he's not afraid to share it. So just give it to him.
What? Yeah.
Each team can pick somebody to just give it to them at noon. Why are we waiting?
It's true.
Right? It's kind of I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. But here we are talking about, because every time it comes out, you got to almost talk about it.
Right.
It's happening in real time.
What do you think if everything costs the same, which road trip would the most Jags fans want to take this year? If cost wasn't necessarily a factor. And I don't even know how much of it would change place to place anyway, but just try to. You
got good ones. You got Vegas, you got Denver, you got San Fran, and you got Arizona. I think those are great trips. Great trips. San Fran, some people either like San Fran or you don't like San Fran. I like San Fran as a city overall going out. There's a lot to see, a lot to from a sports standpoint, but also kind of historic standpoint, and the food's good. There are just places that I'm kind of familiar with now.
We
I've
just
been there.
played Vegas last year in Vegas, right?
Just played Vegas. But Vegas is Vegas.
So how are we playing them 2 years in a row? That's
because that's where you finish. We finished the same here in Jacksonville as they did in Vegas. So you play the other conference.
I see.
Oh no, wait. Actually, that not even fall under that this year. This year we're playing the Jags playing the West.
Right.
So that's why. But last year it was the other reason. It's like, you play the third place team in the East, third place team in the North.
Sure.
And last year was the third place team in the West, which ended up being.
Okay.
Yeah. Ripley said it better than I did. Slot for the divisional rotation. So anyway, but Denver's a great place to visit. And really you can visit any of the months are good.
Yeah.
You can really do some things there. I think Arizona is underrated.
I was about to go there with that.
And especially, I've shared the story before, but we took the kids over Thanksgiving, and it was the kids were younger at the time. I don't know how young, but they weren't super young, but they were definitely young. It was years ago now. And the coolest thing about that was we stole Thanksgiving Day there and Friday, and I think came back on Saturday, but we went up to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
So we started in Phoenix, and then we went up for at least a couple hours. We even saw and stopped in Sedona, which is a couple hours away. And then we drove a couple more hours or whatever that was. It was pretty long. And we ended up we stayed in some place. It was Route 66 is right there.
Okay.
And then you could take a train up to the canyon. We did this train thing. That's how we went. You could drive up too. But we did this train deal with the kids, and it was cool. We went to the canyon for a couple hours. It's all right, I've seen the big hole. Time to go back.
Such a Debbie Downer.
It was cool, but you can only stare at it for so long. You're either going to take a mule down there and experience it big time, but that's a year in advance, and wasn't doing that with kids. Probably wasn't doing that anyway. Or you could there's the north rim, the south rim, the other of the canyon. It's huge.
Okay.
So that would be a whole nother couple of days. But we saw the canyon. It was good. And then we come back. But it was like being in 3 different states. I always remember it's Phoenix was, I don't know, at Thanksgiving it was 80. And then it was 60 in Sedona. And then it was literally almost snowing at Grand Canyon, I think it was. It was close. It didn't snow, I don't think, but it was close. So that was a cool trip. So if you've... and you can do that all in a couple of days. We did it all a couple of days, made it back for the game, and Saturday night, and then did the game.
So which place, if you're trying to make a trip out of it, would be the worst? Would it be Cincinnati or would it be Indy?
Okay, so we've done. Yeah, I think Cincinnati is there's not a lot to really couple it with.
Right.
So I give you, Indy, you're kind of right. The one thing I've never done in Indy that I wouldn't mind doing is catching a Butler basketball game while in Indy, but it never works out. You could see the Pacers, but I don't really care about going to the NBA game. I just thought it'd be cool to see Butler and that gym, or maybe even Indiana, actual Indiana. Maybe that I got to keep an eye on that. Going to be a couple of Ospreys there. Sounds like 2 of the Ospreys are going to Indiana. I don't know if that's official yet. One of them it is, but I don't know if the other one's official. So that could be a cool thing. But the thing that we did and coupled with the Indiana trip is we saw Florida State and Notre Dame.
Ah, nice.
And then drove down. So we went, I think, a day ahead. Did the whole Notre Dame experience with the kids, and then drove down to Indianapolis. So that is the fun part of these things. If you go on the road, right, you can either work something else into it or see the city. But I think you're right. I think Cincy, yeah, you can go down to Louisville, but, you can do something everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Cincy. I like Cincinnati, the city. They've actually rebuilt that. They've done a lot of cool things. Okay. I love the ballpark in Cincy. So if you end up in September, which are there some leaks now that's going to be week 2?
Yeah.
Or is Cincy here or there?
It's there.
Yeah, so week 2, you might be able to go catch a Reds game on a Saturday night. I think it's a great ballpark. Some people don't love the ballpark. I love the ballpark. So Cincinnati is a great spot for that. But other than that, and I have some family right there, so I guess I could go visit them, which I have in the past. But I don't know if it would be far down the list. I'll give you one that I don't think is. I think Cincinnati's maybe even higher on the list than like Houston. Like Houston, I don't mind going to Houston because I like eating Tex-Mex on Saturday night. But there's nowhere to go. Like, there's nothing. I shouldn't say there's nothing to do. I mean, you go to like a Rockets game, right? You could do the same thing if the baseball team, if it's early in the year.
Right.
But Texas is just so dang big. It's not like you're going to San Antonio, which I guess you could do that. I don't know how far San Antonio is from Texas. From Houston. Maybe like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So if you want to go out a day early, go to
it's 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay. So go out to San Antonio.
Same distance from Austin, pretty much.
Oh, Austin too?
Yeah.
All right, so you could do that. You could go a day early, maybe. Like if they play Houston in Thanksgiving weekend, could the Martineaus make that Texas swing? Could do it. And by the way, like we actually did think about this last year. We almost, I forget what game it was. I think it was LSU, Alabama or something on a Saturday. Because Baton Rouge to Houston is only a couple hours. Maybe 2.5 hours.
Oh, if you went to Houston, you could go to Texas A&M game in College Station. It's 90-minute drive.
Yeah, so like you can do that.
I mean,
if it matches up.
You're trying to see 115,000 people at a football game.
I'd like to see Texas A&M. But going to see a Saturday night game in Baton Rouge or going to see a game at Texas A&M, like again, Texas, like you've got the spot. So I guess let me take that back then on the Houston thing, because you can do a lot of that if you steal a day. Like if you go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're in a good spot. Probably more so than you'd be willing to do that with Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati, you honestly just got to go Saturday. Hope there's a game at home if it's early in the year for baseball. If it's later in the year, if you like Xavier basketball or something, that's fine. But how many people are jonesing for that, right? Yeah. So, I would put the order of, I think, of road trips. Take London out.
Okay. I mean,
I'm going to put it at...
I think you got to go Vegas at 1.
Yeah, I feel like I went to Vegas now twice. I'd never been, and I went twice in 2 months. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was a shade. I thought it was overrated, but I get it. But I think there's way more. It depends. You going with your buddies, you're going with the family. Right? There's a little bit of that. It's like you go with your buddies. I'll go with my family, and Vegas ain't at the top of my list. Mm-hmm. I do think like there's something cool about going to Denver. So I think Denver would be near the top. Like, if you haven't been to Denver, it's neat. It's a neat stadium. A lot of great hit. Like there was a good fans. They love their Broncos football. The weather could be kind of interesting. And Denver's beautiful. So Colorado's beautiful. So I kind of go there.
I need to get back to Denver. Remember I went for 14 hours last fall?
Oh, yeah, you did. Did you? You saw the game, though, right?
I saw Rockies game.
Yeah.
And pretty much, that's about all I saw.
All right.
So I don't know what the heck's Denver's really like.
What do you want to do? You want to do... I'm going to do the family edition.
Okay. The family edition.
Of the road trips.
Okay.
Can you put the thing back up?
Oop,
that's Rich Hill. Not all, the 14 teams he played for. Now we do that we can do a travel show based on sports. Rich Hill's destinations. Mm-hmm. Which one would you go? 1 to 14. All right. I am starting with Denver. There's a lot to do in Colorado, even outside of Denver.
Okay.
Like if you've never been, go visit Air Force and where's that? Colorado Springs, I think it is. And then there's Colorado State and Fort Collins. Good stuff. And then Denver. It's busy, but it's a good place. Next, I'm going to go. This is my family trip. Remember, I'm going San Fran.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm going Arizona. Then I'm going Vegas.
Okay.
Just to say you went, even though there are things to do now with the family in Vegas, but if the casino's your game, not getting that. Then I'm going, oof. Well, I'm putting these three last.
You still got to go Nashville.
Yeah, but you go every year. So I'm putting these three outside of this. It's in like a different, it's got to be on the bottom line.
Okay.
And then I go Nashville. I just talked myself into Houston.
Yeah.
More than Indy.
I think I'm with you there.
Again, from a family standpoint, you can go catch some other things, see some sight. Austin, San Antonio. What are you doing in
Always.
Indianapolis family-wise. Like, I want to go see, like, Terre Haute or French Lick or for Larry Bird and my buddy Ben, who I roomed with up there in Fort Wayne. But okay, so family-wise, I went Denver, San Fran, Arizona, Vegas, Nashville, Houston, Indy. Now, the Nashville, Houston, Indy is just in a separate. You go every year. So Nashville would probably be pretty high. But again, Nashville's an interesting one with the family. You can't go in every bar. Like, it's one road.
That's true.
So, like, again, if you're going with your buddies, Nashville's probably a lot higher, and so is Vegas. All right, what do you think, Hamby? You go with your buddies on this trip.
All right, I'll go Vegas 1. I still want to go Glendale 2. And then I'll go Nashville, Denver. 5, I have San Fran. It could just be because I don't know exactly what all is going on out there from a friend's standpoint. And then I'll round it with Houston. Houston I always have a personal affinity for since I flew out there solo and watched the Braves win a World Series. So I just like to go back and kind of almost just retread my steps that day from when I flew in the morning to when I left that night in the wee hours after the World Series win. And then I'll round it with Indy and Cincy.
Okay. I didn't write it down. Did you?
Yours?
No, I wrote mine down.
Oh, yeah, I got mine.
So, all right, give me again.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Glendale.
Ooh.
Denver. Nashville. San Fran. Houston. Indy. And Cincy.
All right. All right, there we go. Not bad. I would say this, though. Good road trips this year.
Yeah.
Really, it's a good schedule. Throw it up one more time. Sorry. Or something. Did we freeze?
We did for a second.
Oh, okay. You want to sneak a break in before? Oh, okay. You want to sneak a break in before we get out to UNF? Probably a good idea, right? Let's do that while we get things set up at University of North Florida. Check in with their softball team going to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Glenn, yes, the Niners do play in Santa Clara, but there's a million places to go around Santa Clara out there, too. Like, you don't have to just go to San Fran. A lot to do out there. It's a good place. And also, country music does not do what you just said it did. Country music is just fine. Go to the listening room. Hear the songwriters. A lot of history there. A lot of talent there. Just like here in the River City, we like being right here. Keep me off the plane and keep me in the 904. We'll be right back.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
It's fast-paced.
Hands off on first down, and there goes Edward Vander.
High fly.
Wide open receiver. It's caught.
Action-packed. Weekend fun. Fun for the entire family. It's the Jacksonville Sharks. I feel like anybody could play in this league. It's gotta be like backyard football, right?
Whoa! This ain't the Arena League, Brent. This the indoor league, and they play defense here.
It's a lot safer to just watch the professionals play. And watching is a lot of fun. A party in the stands at the arena for kids and adults. And it's indoors. Get out of the heat for the summer and watch the Sharks shine inside. Jacksonville Sharks football, season number 15. It's the Drive for 5, and it's still alive. Get your tickets at jacksharks.com.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training, along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
We got some softball last night. University Christian has had a really nice run, and they seem to be in the Final Four every year. State championship games, runner-ups. Sophia Kardasky obviously graduated, and so did a couple of others, but they're back. Again, they won last night over Harvest Community, 8-0, and they will play for a regional title coming up tomorrow at home. We only have 3 teams left, and we'll talk more about that in softball and 2 teams in baseball. We'll talk about those 5 teams and much more coming up a little bit later today, 2 o'clock on No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports, Republic Services. Check out RecyclingSimplified.com, by the way, and Perfect Rack Billiards, one final show of No Gate Fees where we talk high school baseball and softball. We'll put a bow on things, talk a little summer ball and the impact of that for a lot of the baseball guys. We'll also have several guests lined up, is the plan. So join us at 2 o'clock, No Gate Fees, right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Simply find it at actionsportsjacks.com. And it replays tonight at 6 and replays again tomorrow at 6. And we're closing down the spring sports season here in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully end with a couple of state championships. St. John's Country Day, good luck to them today in the state semis. And then on next week will be Trinity Christian in baseball, and we'll see who makes it on the softball side. Brent Martineau, along with Austen Lane, Jason Hamby, and Casey Kurtz. Hey, some really good news to pass along from the UNF Ospreys. And let me just make sure I've got it all right in front of me. A lot going on over there with the regional coming up in South Carolina. They'll play Virginia Friday at 3 o'clock. Softball team making history, first time they've ever been. They won the ASUN tournament this past weekend. They've been one of the best teams in the ASUN the last couple of years. They've won the best players really in the country. And today awards were announced. And Allison Benning, she's the player, the pitcher, and the scholar athlete of the year. Wow, how about the hardware there? That's pretty impressive. First team All ASUN pitcher and utility, and on the ASUN All Academic team. Mackenzie Woods, first team All ASUN. Grace Shaw Rocky, second team All ASUN. By the way, freshman, had a very nice year. Kirsten Caravaca and Chloe Culp, third team All ASUN. Grace Shaw Rocky, Macy Honolt and Taylor Cook, ASUN All-Freshman. Jeff Conrad, Coach of the Year. So a lot of awards. So, I mean, just really a fantastic season. It all comes together the way you hope it will. And I think they're sitting on 45 wins right now. And we'll play again against Virginia in the South Carolina Regional. We'll see if they can steal an NCAA tournament win. That's the next step, right? Can you get a win? And we'll think about the bigger Cinderella type thing down the road if that happens. But you really go into this, I think, thinking like, hey, can you get a W? Can you compete? Can you contend? Can you scare some people? And then you can hopefully put yourself in a position to really shock the world. That would be pretty cool. So we're going to go visit with the UNF Ospreys in just a couple moments, trying to set that up. They're actually out at practice, and I'm assuming they leave tomorrow for the Friday game as they head up to South Carolina. And we're also going to try to visit a little bit later with Chris Hayes and the baseball team. There's a big River City Rumble going on as in the Jacksonville baseball scene. On the collegiate scene, we've got UNF and JU. They play Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday to close the regular season in ASUN play. Both already locked into the tournament, so that's good news. So this is kind of a warm-up, but also a little bit more than a warm-up when JU and UNF get together on the baseball diamond. We'll talk hopefully with Chris Hayes a little bit later. We're having Marcel running all over the place here this morning and trying to get that on the show. Daniel Griffiths writes on actionsportsjacks.com. We'll talk about what he wrote about in just a little bit. Casey will join us as well, so still a lot to get through halfway through the show. And schedule day around the NFL, yes, it continues to leak. We had a button ready to go, as Austin calls it, a little sounder every time that the schedule leaks would come out, and then we can't keep up with it. The leaks are all over the place. So if you really want to find it, you can. I'm not going to tell everybody the leaks. You probably want to. You can't contain yourself. That'd be wild, actually. If I gave somebody like a phone and I said, you got to sit in here until 8 o'clock tonight, but you can't find out what the leaks are. You think they could do it?
No shot.
No shot. No shot. Or if I also said you can't tell anybody, they couldn't do it.
Nope.
So what are we thinking? Are we still trying to get them? All right. Give me a heads up when we got them. Working it out when we get Coach Conrad on here in just a little bit. Before we get to that, let me also give you an update on the NBA and NHL playoffs. How about the Indiana Pacers beating the Cavs? Now, a lot of folks went into this NBA thinking, okay, the two top teams, like the Cavs and obviously the Thunder, while they were awesome in the regular season, there's a really good chance they don't advance and win the whole thing. Like, nobody was counting on them to win. Well, they're kind of right about the Cavs. And the Indiana Pacers getting hot at the right time. I thought it was kind of a cool thing by Carlisle, the coach of the Pacers. He said, you kind of feel bad. They had such a great season, and they ran into us. We're just hot at the right time. I thought it was kind of a cool gesture that he said that. But tonight you got the Knicks and Celtics, and can the Knicks close out the Celtics? Of course, without Jason Tatum, that's the big story. Minnesota leads the Warriors 3-1 as they've been playing without Steph Curry. So it's an Achilles for Tatum. The Knicks look like they'll advance. It could be the Knicks and the Pacers. That's a little old school. Little Reggie Miller. Little Spike Lee Reggie Miller. And we could get the Timberwolves and Oklahoma City, who now has won a couple in a row and has a 3-2 lead over the Denver Nuggets. Meanwhile, in the NHL, which I've been watching more of the NHL playoffs than like ever before, 2-2 in the Panthers-Leafs series. They go tonight. The Oilers are up 3-1 over the Golden Knights, and they will play again tonight. The Stars, 3-1 now over the Jets, and the Jets had the best record this season. So that they could be in trouble. Remember, they survived the opening series, and then the Hurricanes and Capitals with the Hurricanes leading 3-1 in that series. All right, we're ready to go. Let's do it. Let's bring in Jeff Conrad, the A-Sun Coach of the Year in softball, and they're over there getting ready for practice. And this is old hat now. I mean, we do this a couple times a month, it seems like. But what's the practice setting like as you head to the regionals for the first time ever?
Well, it feels good to be, out here and still practicing. It's nice to have some good weather. It was a little bit rough for that championship game in Alabama, but we're not going to complain. To be one of the 64 teams that are still playing at this time of the year, we'll practice in anything at this point.
Well, you got it done, and it's never easy to get it done. It doesn't matter if you've been good for the last couple of years and you win 40 games. You still got to play good ball at that stage to get where you want to go. What have the last few days been like? Winning the championship, the wait to win the championship on Saturday, the ride home, the celebration inside UNF Arena. What's this been like for you?
It's been a whirlwind, to be honest with you. It's been chaos. I don't think I've ever had that many text messages in my life. I don't think I've even made it halfway through them at this point. But I'm just happy for the kids. I mean, they really dialed in on accomplishing a goal, and really since we left Alabama a year ago, getting walked off in extra innings, I think they've really been dialed in on finishing the job. And I think there was a lot of anxiety going to Alabama, knowing that moment was right there in front of us. And I think we came out a little tight in the game against Stetson, and then we started to get our legs underneath us a little bit, and and then we knew we were going to run into Eastern Kentucky at some point, and got them in the semifinals, and was able to win that game, a close game, 2-1, and then kind of had a feeling that they would reemerge through the losers bracket, and we'd have to get through them again. So and then you throw in the weather and all that stuff that was going on the day of the championship. We saw the forecast the night before. I think it was like 95% rain, and there's a lot of anxiety not only to play the game, but then you start factoring in the weather and so on and so forth. And we got up the next day, and it was raining hard for the good portion of the morning, and we were really fortunate. There was a indoor baseball facility there that we were able to connect with that we had been hitting at throughout the week. So, we got up in the morning, got the kids over to the facility, got some swings, were able to be active, and luckily the weather started to tail off a little bit right before game time, enough where they could, do their best to get the field ready, and then, pretty much played through rainy conditions the entire game. So, it was obviously a lot of fun. It was a stressful game. All our games there were one-run games, so I mean there was a lot of emotion, a lot of stress involved, and I think you could see a lot of that come out of the kids. Once that final out was recorded, and obviously it was a long bus ride home. We left probably around 12:30, and I think we pulled back into campus around 6:45.
Oh wow!
In the morning, but. Yeah, I don't think too many people got a lot of sleep. I mean, everybody was, pretty amped up, and the kids had a lot of loud music going and dancing in the back of the bus, and, a little bit of everything. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's one of those things that, they'll remember for the rest of their lives, and, they now have something that nobody will ever be able to take away from them, and, that'll be champions for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no doubt. And boy, a bunch of accolades, too, right, that come with the success of the season. Does that mean something to you guys, or do you kind of, you two kind of ingrained in what's going on right now at practice and getting ready for Virginia on Friday to even acknowledge it too much?
Yeah, I mean, we did. We let the kids know before practice, and Benny obviously was a little bit emotional. I think, for her having left, Oregon and having the dreams to accomplish the things that she's been able to accomplish this year, and get back to a regional and have those accolades, I think meant a lot to her. She's a team first kid, and that's one of the things we really love about her. And a lot of our kids, are the same way. I mean, they're so focused on that job that they had to complete in Alabama, and now that business is finished, they're on to the next job, which is really, like I told them, just trying to figure out a way to get a regional win and have that on our resume, on our first trip there.
Yeah, that would be pretty significant, right? I mentioned that before you came on. And listen, it'd be great to go win the regional, and that's a tall task. But to get a W this weekend is kind of that next step, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, we'd love to obviously win the regional and have an opportunity to advance to a super regional, but we understand, that sometimes there's steps, involved with this thing that we're trying to build here. And, it's no different from finally winning the championship game. I think Nick had said something this morning that we've been to 4 games now in 6 years, and I think it was 3 in the past 4. And, it took us to that 4th opportunity to finally break through and win it. And, hopefully it's not a similar model to go through a regional and get into a super regional, but we understand that there's a process involved, and we gotta continue to evolve, and I think that's kind of what we're focused on. And we're obviously not interested in consolation prizes, but I think the kids would really like to leave Columbia when it's all said and done, at least have a win under their belt in a regional game.
That'd be awesome. All right, we won't keep you too much longer. What do you know about Virginia other than they're probably pretty good to get this far in a Power 4 school? So how do you match up?
I think we match up pretty well. I mean, I think they're a team that's built pretty similar to what we saw in Eastern Kentucky. Not a ton of small game. Obviously got power throughout the lineup. We really like the matchup we have with Benny, going up against them. But they're, a great team. Obviously, all the teams that are playing this time of year are all very good. But Virginia will be a great test for us coming right out of the gate. They've been ranked in the top 25 pretty much throughout the year. And obviously a strong ACC opponent. And, I think overall we were really happy with our draw and where we, ended up. I think, most of us assumed that it was going to be Gainesville or, Tallahassee. And, we're happy to kind of get out of the state and see somebody other than the teams that we've been playing throughout the year in our non-conference schedule. But, between Virginia and obviously South Carolina, who's a top 8, national seed, we know there's a lot of firepower in that region. And, not taking anything away from Elon, obviously they'll be a formidable opponent as well. But we feel good about where we're at. We feel good with how we're playing. And, we're looking forward to getting there. We'll leave later this afternoon. I think around 3:15 we're scheduled to depart, and get up there, get in the surroundings, get a practice in tomorrow on their field, and just we're ready to go at this point.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that you were 3 seed. I didn't know if that was going to be automatic. I didn't know how that was going to work, but I thought it was 3 seed in the regional was pretty cool. So that says a lot about what you guys have done and the respect for you too and your program this year. All right, one last thing. Do you you're going to get sent off at 3:50, and there'll be more emotion with that, a lot of smiles, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement and energy. Do you try to pull that back at some point tomorrow to kind of lock in to the Friday game, or do you just let this thing ride, man, and go on adrenaline as long as you can?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, when you see the amount of drive and work that these kids have put in to be in this particular moment, it's hard not to let them have the ability to, just pause and enjoy it. But they've been really good at staying focused on what's directly in front of them. And I think, come tomorrow later in the afternoon, probably once we wrap up our practice, they'll do a really good job of, getting locked in on the task at hand. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything different. It's kind of been their mantra throughout the entire season. I think there'll be obviously a lot of people at the send-off, and, I think the kids will enjoy every bit of that. And, the bus ride, and I know Nick said he's got a few surprises in store for us. So, they're looking forward to Under Armour hooked us up with some big swag bags, and Louisville Sluggers sending us some postseason bats and stuff. So, I mean, they're just, every day there's something new, and they're just enjoying every minute of it. So I think we'll continue to allow them to do that, and trust that they'll know when the right time is to lock in on the task at hand.
Now, plus, I think school's out. There's nothing better than playing ball when school's out.
You're right. Yeah, that's exactly right. They've got one thing to focus on right now, and that's playing softball, and they're enjoying every minute of it. And like I said at the beginning of the call, it's a credit to them for everything that they've done throughout the year and just been completely bought in and dialed in. It's a special group, and they've done special things, and they'll take their rightful place in not only UNF softball history, but I think UNF athletics history.
No doubt about it. It's a big deal over there at UNF to do what you guys just did. So congratulations. And, hey, go get at least one more W. We'll be looking forward to watching you play starting on Friday.
Sounds good, Brent. We always appreciate all you do for the program and you being out here again with us today.
You bet. Thanks, man. That is Jeff Conrad. He is the ASUN Coach of the Year in softball, and deservedly so. He's part of the staff a few years back. He took over the reins a few years ago, and what he's done has been fantastic. Here's the other deal. Here's the reality of it. They've got a player in Allison Benning, who I think we might visit with in just a bit, that is a game changer. I mean, she's unique to the program of a UNF. You're not getting that every year. And so you have to take advantage of the window when you have a player like that is an absolute game changer. And that's really applaud Coach Conrad and the team and everybody else. They have a lot of good players. But this is the window right here. Now, can you go build that again, hopefully, and raise the level of the whole program with a moment like this? I think so. But you've got to be able to deliver in this kind of window, or you feel like you kind of missed it. And they did. And there was a lot of pressure on him to do that, I think, and they were able to deliver. So hats off to them. Congratulations. He's done a fantastic job with the program. He's been able to use that transfer portal very well and still build culture. I do not think that's easy. I don't think just using the portal is the right thing for everybody, but he's really done a good job with it and made it work, and they've been outstanding the last couple of years. So congrats to the UNF Ospreys. Hopefully talk a little bit more ball in the next few minutes. Let's go to a break. How about that? I don't think Allison Scott, I saw her over there in the bullpen, so I don't think she's coming right yet, but probably in the next few minutes, we'll talk a little bit more to UNF. We're going to visit with a little baseball as well over at JU, hopefully, if Marcel can get over there in time. I know he's battling through some things. So there she is, Allison Benning. She is the pitcher of the year, and, well, she's the player of the year, pitcher of the year, hitter of the year, everything of the year. I think, what do they call it? What am I missing? It's not in front of me right now. All academic athlete of the year. That's what I was saying. That's what I wanted to say. So ASUN player, pitcher, scholar, athlete of the year. That's pretty good. We hopefully will visit with her in the next few minutes. She's getting some work in, getting ready to go at 3 o'clock on Friday against Virginia in the South Carolina Regional. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon-Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. sensation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How about this? A 2-run homer to win it in the bottom of the 7th for Paxson. They were down 4-3 in the regional semis, and they get that home run. By the way, Cassidy, who hit the home run, will join us today on No Gate Fees around 2:30 today during our high school baseball and softball show here in the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. They are on to the regional finals now tomorrow. They will be on the road. What a moment. And you know what? That's what this stuff is all about at the end of the day. You can talk about batting averages or wins, and it's really about moments when we talk about youth sports or really just sports in general. I think that's what people remember the most. And now we head back over to the University of North Florida, and a young lady that has had plenty of moments over her career, from Oregon to now at UNF. And hey, a big shout out and congratulations to Allison Benning. You made it over from the bullpen to our interview set rather quickly, by the way. But congratulations, ASUN Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year, and Scholar Athlete of the Year. Wow, that's a lot. I hope you have a big mantle at home.
Thanks. I honestly ran over here. I was out of breath coming over here.
You're getting your work in, right, today? So you can go back all that up. How much work will you get in that bullpen today?
I mean, today we're running through batters, so we're preparing for University of Virginia, who we play on Friday. So just getting our arms loose and getting primed and ready to go for the big stage.
Give us a sense of the last few days for you and your teammates. Has it been? It's obviously been exciting, right? A lot of work put in, and there's nothing like winning and making history at UNF. But has it been exhausting? Has it been a lot? Like, give us a sense of these last few days.
It's been surreal, honestly. There's been a lot of people have reached out to us. A lot of people have reached out to me from my hometown. The selection show was super fun. Found out we were going to South Carolina. So a lot of us have never been there, so that's going to be super cool. But it's just been a lot of fun. Yes, it has been a long, long week, especially with the travel back from Oxford. But I think we're all just, overall, in the midst of all of that, I think we're all just super excited.
How emotional was it for you, not only this week, but today, to hear the news of what you did and you got from an individual standpoint? I know you're so excited about what the team is doing, but was there a lot of emotion when Coach announced that today?
So he called me into his office. He was like, "We need to have a meeting about something." I was like, "Okay." And I ended up being on a hidden camera TV show. Our SID hid a camera in his office, and I had no idea. And Coach Jeff told me, he said, "Do you know what does a trifecta mean?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like 3 things at a time." And then he told me, and it was just shocking. Like, honestly, I was shocked. And obviously I heard all the awards my teammates got, and our coach got Coach of the Year. So it was just I was super happy for them.
That's really good stuff. Congratulations on all of that to all your teammates as well. How gratifying is it for you? And we've had you on the show before and talked about this, and a lot of people have been talking about your last couple of years. But you come over here to UNF, and I guess when you're a big-time player like you were coming out of high school and at Oregon, it comes with pressure, right, with that, and to try to deliver something like this. And how satisfying and gratifying is it for you to be able to help deliver this to UNF?
It feels great. I think just being even a small part of it has been super rewarding. You know, we made history like we've talked about, but it's just been super rewarding to feel like I've been able to help contribute to my team.
How tired are you this time of year, and how much do you have left?
I had slept like a baby last night, I will say, but I think it's honestly just the joy that I've gotten from this, and I think I can speak for my teammates and coaches when I say this too. Just the joy is what keeps me going, honestly, and knowing that we have the support of everyone here at UNF and all my family and my friends, some of the girls I coach back home. It's just been great, and it's just what keeps me motivated to do well.
Very cool. Coach said that you guys didn't get back till 6:45 in the morning on Sunday. It was a long bus ride. But he also said there wasn't a lot of sleeping. What was going on that bus?
We were really excited. Our little team theme song is the Orlando Magic win song that goes Orlando Magic, because one of our girls is from Orlando, and she was started playing that song. So we were singing songs. We were just having a lot of fun, honestly. We were up until 2 a.m. That's when the party died down a little bit.
That's great stuff. I bet it'll be a little bit more subdued on the bus because it's all business going to South Carolina now. But are you guys looking forward to this send-off today at 3:15?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have hopefully a good turnout, so I'm excited. Have a lot of people supporting us, so it's just going to be great to see them all, have them congratulate us, just be able to thank them for supporting us throughout this season. I know it's been a long one, so it's going to be super fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, you don't have to go to class right now. It's just all ball. Isn't that great?
I know, I'm done with school forever, so it's great.
Done with school forever, but not done with softball forever.
Correct.
Is there something that you're looking forward to in the regional that you've heard about? That just maybe it's the atmosphere, maybe it's playing Virginia, that you know somebody. Is there anything that you're looking forward to this weekend now that you guys have made it?
I think, I know for me personally, it's not my first time playing in a regional, but I know for almost everyone else on the team, it is their first time, so I'm excited to make new memories, make history with a great group of girls and a great coaching staff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just being able to share my experiences with them and, just have a lot of fun. I'm excited to compete.
Do you get more per diem in the regional? So do you have to like always go to fast food, or do you get better eating?
I think we're going to get some good eating, honestly. We do get some per diem money, but our coaches always take care of us, so I'm not too worried about it.
All right. Well, it looks like you'll have the ball in your hands, I'm assuming, on Friday against Virginia, right?
I don't know. I don't make the decisions. I just work here.
Yeah, let me make the decision for Coach. You'll have the ball in your hand on Friday at 3 o'clock. Hey, how much?
I'll let her know.
How much goes into the scouting? Because obviously you haven't played them, right? So will you do a lot of homework on the bus or video work on them?
Yeah, our coaches do a lot of work with that. Coach Mario and Coach Amber, they do a lot of work with the video. They put the video for us in an app, and we're able to watch it. I actually have a friend who plays at Boston College, so they played Virginia over the ACC regular season. So she gave me like a snapshot of what to look for. So I've got a lot of info.
Good. Well, now go execute and have fun before you get there. Allison Benning, one of the all-time greats now from an athletic standpoint at the University of North Florida. Congratulations and good luck on Friday. I think she might have went out right there at the end, but Allison, I mean, an unbelievable career. Think about how much goes into that. She's been carrying the weight of these expectations. Everybody's been talking about her. We've had her on multiple times. Really unbelievable what UNF has in her as a player, and offensively and on the mound. And she's been able to deliver. That's really cool. I don't even know if that will hit her just yet. That's probably something that comes down the road. And she didn't hear the last part, what I said, but it's already crystal clear. She is one of the all-time greats to play at the University of North Florida. That is locked in. You can get the Hall of Fame plaque ready now, Nick Morrow, and everybody else at UNF, because that will happen. And here's the other thing worth noting for the UNF, and I love how she's so team-oriented, but they really do have a good team. They have a lot of good players. It's not just her. She's not carrying them alone. And they have a lot of, Kirsten Karavaka's really come on the last couple of weeks. I think she was third team A-Sun, but she's come up with some huge hits. And we talked about some of the freshmen, Grace Shaw-Rocky we had on the last time we went out there. They've got a really good team and playing good. And I think they have two pitchers in the top 10 in the country in ERA, along with Benning, if I'm not mistaken. So there are a lot of good things happening at the University of North Florida. Again, Mackenzie Woods, Chloe Culp, Hadley Reichert, Kirsten Karavaka, some of these others that, again, I feel like it's a lot of the Benning story, and rightfully so, but worth mentioning. So many others have helped contribute to this and helped Jeff Conrad's team do some special things. Send-off coming up at 3:15 today in Lot 18 at UNF, and then they'll play Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock in the regionals against Virginia in South Carolina. All right, let's do this. Catch up. Should we catch up? No, we keep going. Let's keep going, right? We're good. We got through that. All right. Get Marcel out of there. He's got to hustle over to JU. We'll give him a heads up that it might be a little bit later than 12:35 when we were scheduled to get Chris Hayes. But Casey comes in. He's starting to break stuff. Minute he gets in, he's taking mics apart.
Yep.
Does that work?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can actually.
Okay, yeah.
What do you got going on there? What happened?
Dude, I don't know. So, are
we going to blame Patrick Young here? Because he sits over there.
I, in no way, shape, or form, said anything right now about Patrick Young. You brought up Patrick Young.
I'm all for blaming people.
Patrick Young was sitting here yesterday, and there was some goofiness going on. So,
all right.
I mean, if we want to go that way,
we'll blame Patrick Young.
Yeah. What's up, Doug? By the way, don't listen to the show very often. Hate to tell you that. Sorry, my guy. That was one of your that line there that she gave you. That was one of the best college interviews I think you've ever had. I just work here.
Yeah.
Just now,
yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah,
because usually it's it's just the same old
she's
stuff.
Great.
That was great.
Yeah, she's great.
I was laughing. I was like, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's a great line.
Yeah, it was a good line. But my line's correct too. She'll have the ball in her hands.
Yeah, but the whole thing was perfect, Brett. I think you're finally hitting your stride.
I found that interesting that she, and we should shout out Mario Hernandez. He's a defensive coach, assistant. Amber Pfizer, who I think still pitches professionally. That's how good of a pitching coach they have. And
I can hear you guys.
But Allison Benning just kind of said, well, she'll make the call. So she kind of like, she make the call who goes out there, and maybe even, I'll have to ask Coach Conrad about that. I don't know if that's a head coaching call or a pitching coach call, like when to take someone out or not. I'm sure they have conversations about it.
Sure.
But it certainly sounded like Allison was like, hey, yeah, it'll be up to Coach Amber.
That's cool.
To see if I've got the ball or not, and that's the matchup. But guess what? She didn't know, but Coach Conrad had already said.
I mean, if you said if you pitch professionally, like I think that's probably should be your call. In my opinion.
Yeah, they got a good, obviously a real good staff. And by the way, they've had some issues that they had to correct on the staff a couple years back, and they've really corrected in a big way. So Jeff Conrad's done a heck of a job.
I've always wondered about that dynamic in like Major League Baseball. Like, take the Dodgers. Does Mark Pryor go over? He's like, now, go get him.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Or like, how much does that happen in a position player or former position player manager situation?
Yeah, I don't, that's a great call. I think obviously the head coach, manager, if you will, has to answer to it.
Sure.
So he's got to be able to confirm it. Mm-hmm. But I think it just depends how much you trust.
I've just never really thought about it.
Like, was Bobby Cox making the call or Leo Mazzoni?
Right.
You know, because they'd been together forever. Mm-hmm. Obviously trusted him.
I do think a lot of the ones with the starting pitcher are pretty obvious. You know, because
tell the Marlins.
Before the game, they know exactly like what they want to pitch count range and analytics on third time through the order and all of those things. But I mean, there's definitely insight on it from the pitching coach. But I don't think there's a whole lot of times nowadays where the pitching coach is like, get him out, and the head coach is like, I want to.
That's fair, and that's changing a bit, right? Because now it's the computer telling you to take him out, like more than the human being. It's basically like, okay, that average is about to go sky high.
Right.
But who made the call? Like, what were the conversations like when Grady Little kept Pedro in at 100 pitches?
That was Pedro's decision.
That's fair.
Right?
Who was their pitching coach? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I don't remember. But like that back then, they weren't leaning on the computers.
Right.
Again, I was talking about Cox and Mazzoni, right? Like they weren't. And it's a good question. I don't know. I think that changes. I would feel like if you're the pitching coach, you know that guy better than anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And you know when his mechanics are starting to get shaky and whatever else. But you also have to, if you're the head coach, the manager, again, you've got to live with it. Right. So, again, this should be a collaborative effort.
Dave Wallace.
Dave Wallace was the pitching coach there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, Grady Little, he's the guy that gets vilified for that.
For sure.
And you're right, too. Like the pitcher, how much respect do you have for the pitcher? I think that's a really hard deal.
I don't think that exists that much anymore.
Probably, you can't say. You can be pissed all you want, but you can't be like, I want to be. Everybody's going to say, I want to be in.
I mean, Kevin Cash took out Blake Snell in the World Series when he was shoving. So, like, that just doesn't happen.
Okay, so whose decision?
That's analytics, 100%.
100% analytics in that decision,
right?
Yeah, the race part goes into it, but yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you right now, if Kershaw is in a divisional game in September and he fights for another out or two, he'll get it.
Kershaw's about the only one, though, in my opinion.
Sale, I think would
that has that much equity.
I think so. You got to have serious time in the big leagues, though.
Yeah, but like
how old was Snell?
No, yeah, Snell would have been able to talk himself.
He was a Cy Young.
I get it. I think it's more about veteran and time that you've been in the big leagues.
I don't disagree with that, but look,
Garrett Cole's getting an extra out or two if he wants it. There's no doubt in my mind.
Sure,
Cole probably
depends on the matchup. I think, to be honest.
But so here's the difference. That's a good story. Good story. Another good national writer story.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. Like this would be a fascinating view of how it used to be and how it is now. And I think organizationally, like the Rays, you guys just said, like, hey, we know, like when we get to this, we're doing. They had history of doing it, like with him all year with all their pitchers,
right?
All year. And by the way, they were in a position to win because you could argue that history, they had made the right calls. That was a good calculation. But this is why I heard, and maybe this is more public or not, I don't know. But when Joe Girardi was with the Yankees, and there was that time where he had done well, but they ended up firing him. right? And they move on, and they end up going to Boone. And it was because Girardi wasn't all analytics. Like, that's where these guys weren't, like, in that situation, they would still rely on what I see and what my gut is and the analytics. And they didn't want to operate that way. They would be like, no, we're going with what this says. Like, we're playing the trend. And that's actually the big, I guess, I don't know about curiosity or mystery or conflict with today's game is like, when do you factor human element, whether it is gut or what you see, or I want the ball, and that compete level that a computer can't judge. And when do you trust that? And I just don't, I think you guys are right. I don't think, first of all, we have enough big leaguers now in that role to be able to win that battle.
Yeah, I mean, Kershaw.
And even Kershaw, man. Kershaw hasn't done enough lately to win the battle.
No, but I think he gets it. The other one would be, I mean, I hear you on Sale. I'm not fully there. The other one for me would be Verlander.
Verlander probably would.
But again, Verlander has not been good. So, like, if they are in a position like that, like, I think there has to be part of it that's like, yo, he gave us 5 1/3 good innings. The history this season tells us at some point he's going to give up a home run. Like, you know what I mean? But it's interesting. I also think it has to do with, like, the pedigree, if you will, your manager has. Like, Kevin Cash in that moment, I'm not going to say he was scared, but Kevin Cash wasn't...
He hadn't been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't, like, in a position to stick to, we're keeping Blake Snell in here. He went and did what they had done, and it backfired, and then he had to answer for it anyway. But, like, in that situation, if it was Dave Roberts...
Yeah.
Does Dave Roberts pull him? Probably not.
Especially, how many World Series did the Dodgers have now? 2?
2, with one being the COVID year.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah, I mean, to beat the Rays.
So
that night...
So they got 2. So now you have equity, to your point, built up where you can be like, all right, I'm making this call. I'm beating the computer.
Yeah.
I trust you, Kershaw. And you're not going to probably get fired. Or if you do, you can live with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're okay with that. But to your point, Cash, not so much. I'll give you another example of this because this happened with the Dodgers like early in the season, just a couple of years ago. Remember they take the guy out? I forget who it was, pitching a no-hitter.
Oh, yes.
But it was like the opening game of the year. Or something, you know, whenever you're not letting people go long. Well, you don't let people go long anyway, but you're really not letting people go long early in the season.
Tony Gosselin, maybe?
Yeah, I forget who it was.
Gosselin.
But they took him out, and everybody's like, what? That became a big story. I remember talking about it like, come on, man. You got a chance to.
Right.
It's almost like I just said about UNF softball. Like, you live this stuff to really capture moments, not really for what the numbers say. Yeah, we talk about the numbers, and if they add up, that really is cool. But for the player and the coach and the person and the fan, it's about moments. Man, you hate to take a moment like that away from the potential to throw a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Or a perfect game or whatever it is. But we've now seen it multiple times, though, early in the season where they will take a guy out. And I don't think that guy has any say.
No, not at all.
Because, again, that's an organizational thing. Like, hey, dude, he's thrown 75 pitches today, and that's it.
We're taking him out.
One more Scherzer would probably be in that camp.
Oh, yeah.
Well, plus, if the manager came out and Scherzer looked at me, I'd be afraid he might
That's true.
take my head off right there on the mound.
Bro is straight terrifying. Yeah.
I think you guys brought up some good ones. I do think Verlander. I think Scherzer's a good one. I think I think Kershaw, but I mean, I don't even know if Kershaw wants to be in much more than 5 innings anymore.
That's fair.
I'll give you one more. Like, how about a DeGrom?
It's close.
Close.
Yeah, probably in the Sale category.
Yeah, see, but then to me, that goes to like, I would trust Bruce Bochy in that situation, like as that manager that's been through it because DeGrom's a Ranger. Like, if that situation came up, I would lean Bruce Bochy there, whatever he's thinking. And I guarantee you, Bruce Bochy's not like, what are we thinking analytically? Bruce Bochy's like, I won 4 of these, bro.
It's like I've never been on a computer still.
Like, I can feel what's happening here.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, and I also think it's hard. I wonder if this is hard for the pitchers these days, is to say, I know the numbers say when I'm after 5 innings or I'm after 90 pitches, the numbers go up.
Mm-hmm.
Do they come to the realization of that and they now say in their mind, like, it's a 5-inning game? Like, I say this about Kaylee all the time. Like, I mean, I watch her pitch all the time. It's like, hey, she's better used if it's 4 innings at a time. Like, she would be better off pitching twice through the order. She's I mean, once you get, I don't know what, it's not like a metric of pitches or anything, but just seeing her pitch over the years, from a year-long standpoint, you want to drag that thing out. Like, she threw 150 innings this year. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot. If she threw 110, would the stuff down the stretch be a little bit better, right? So, I mean, you don't know because you don't have as much of the resources as the big leaguers have. But what I would be afraid to even tell, like, Kaylee in that situation is, just worry about getting 4 innings.
I think there is some of that.
Like, I don't know if you want to do that. I think you want the idea of, hey, I'm going the distance today, right? I'm going to shut him down the whole game today, not get me to a point, get me to the finish line. I think once you start thinking in sports, just get me to the finish line, you forget, like, the domination or the you got to be perfect or you've got to be locked in the whole time, because what if you do go an extra inning because you're pitching so well? Now are you mentally in the right frame of mind? You already reached your point, you know?
I just think it's so, at this point, unrealistic that you're going to pitch 9 innings, that you're going to pitch 8 innings, that you're going to pitch 7 innings.
Yeah, so that's my point. They might know now.
So, like, I think the way I look at it is, like, if you want to go deep, go out there and be efficient. But if you want to throw 5 shutout innings, go out there and start throwing sliders in the first inning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's strictly on approach. And also, I think your team, like, this sounds dumb, but I think the team has a lot to do with it, because if I'm pitching for, like, the Rockies, I'm out there trying to pitch 9 innings because we suck. And I know if they pulled me, my bullpen's not winning this game.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it everything. If I'm...
Skiing, same type of thing, right?
Skiing, same type of thing. If I'm with the Yankees, who have a good bullpen, I'm like, yo, if I can get 5 2/3 here, them boys are going to win it for me.
Just get me the dub.
Yeah, as long as you don't bring in Devin Williams, we're going to win here.
That's true.
So I think it's just like a different way you go about it. And, you know, at the end of the day, if it comes down to if you're efficient, you're going to go longer.
Yeah.
Like, Zach Wheeler's the epitome of that. Go watch Zach Wheeler pitch. If he's walking guys early, like, he pitches 5 innings. If he doesn't do that, bro's casually knocking on the door of 8 innings every time. And he never gives up runs. Zach Wheeler's so good at baseball.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I like the topic. And I bet it does change organization to organization, manager to manager, maybe pitcher to pitcher, and that relationship between the coach and the pitching coach is big. Just to bring it full circle, who's making that?
I never really thought about it until, like, I sat down here.
Yeah, me either.
Never once.
That's one that I mean, we brought up some deep dive stories too, like over the last couple of weeks, like the QB room or something like that. I've never really thought about it that way too, like who is actually making that call. It's pinned on the manager, I get it.
Yeah.
But how much, and now we just know, like the computer now becomes part of the pie of who's making the call, and actually might be the biggest part of the pie.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. It seems insane, but it does happen. Want to hit a break?
Sure.
Well,
like that.
We got a couple more to get to.
Let's do it.
So let's do that. Then
A couple more?
Yeah, we're on pace.
How are you? Okay.
On pace.
No,
Well, we went 52 minutes in the first segment of the show.
About what?
We had everything going on. Pete Rose, schedule. I came up with another genius idea. You want to hear it? Came up with it today at 9:59. You ready?
Yeah. If this is mobile oil change or somewhat similar, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, because don't worry, I called you out for the mobile oil change. You were said it was a bad idea.
I have no comment because there are sponsor implications, but no comment.
Well, the reality is people now have sponsor mobile oil changes, so it works.
I have no comment at this time.
But
Mobile oil change.
we have come up with, even Hamby thinks it's a good idea.
Did Austen think it was a good idea?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Drive-through egg place.
Drive-through. So Dunkin' Donuts? What?
Oh, like hard-boiled eggs.
Non-cooked eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Egg patties. Egg bites.
Okay.
And
So Dunkin' Donuts.
oh, Dunkin' Donuts has like 2 things.
No.
Yes. With eggs? You can't get a hard-boiled egg at Dunkin' Donuts, can you?
No, you can't.
Okay, well,
Okay.
then my shop's better.
Who in the hell is going into a drive-through for a hard-boiled egg?
If you know it's fresh, you're going in. You forget to make it the night before. The ones in the bags at the Publix and Winn-Dixie, no good. Like a lot of people eat hard-boiled eggs, Hamby, right?
I don't know about hard boiled, but I know everybody eats scrambled eggs for breakfast.
Okay, so I just want to clarify what he just said. He did not co-sign that people are eating hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, but he's wrong.
Okay.
Go to the gym and ask how many people are eating hard-boiled eggs. I bet a lot of them.
Okay. So this is drive-through eggs.
Drive-through eggs. We're gonna have some coffee and stuff too, but it's gonna be
So
like a heavy
literally-
focus on eggs.
You could just franchise a Dunkin' Donuts, is what I'm hearing.
No, they won't let you do as many. You need to. How many egg things are on the Dunkin' Donuts menu?
I got the app. I'll tell you, multiple. I had eggs from Dunkin' Donuts this morning.
Yeah, but was it on like a croissant with all like
Yes.
cheese and ham or something?
But now, this may be revolutionary. You could just take that crap off.
Yeah, but then I'm paying for it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so if you go through the drive-through at Dunkin' Donuts, you got a little sweet black pepper bacon egg sandwich, sourdough bacon, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and sausage, egg and cheese, turkey, egg and cheese, wake up wraps with egg and cheese. I mean,
The wake up wrap's good.
all of it's good. But like my point of the story is like there's a lot of egg things there. The only thing you're missing is hard boiled. And I think, listen, I've been wrong before apparently, but building a whole business off drive-through hard-boiled eggs is a freaking decision.
It would be. It would be. There's more stuff out there in the egg world that Dunkin' Donuts isn't doing. Like even Starbucks have egg bites, which they don't have there.
I get it. Okay, but
well, they're not changing the menu at Dunkin' Donuts.
They are not, but it's not like the egg bites are impossible to get. You just go somewhere else.
One-stop shop, fresh eggs at our drive-thru.
So, like, what's the master plan? You're going to get chickens? If they're fresh eggs, what's the plan?
I haven't thought of that yet. I thought of this today at 9:59. We'll figure out how we're going to do the back-end stuff later.
Well, it sucks.
Last time he said that, mobile oil changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment on mobile oil
I want
changes.
to take us to break.
You should. Egg drive-through. You're a moron.
That. We talked about Pete Rose today on the show.
Good for Pete. I mean,
well, you were asking me what we were talking about.
That's fair. We're going to break, so I'll leave that. But
will his autograph go up?
No.
Not even when he goes in the Hall of Fame?
There's so much of it.
He's saturated the market.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. Good for him. But like, and I think everybody knew this was going to happen. But like, really, riot after he dies? You do this?
Yeah, they just didn't want him on a microphone, I think.
It's scummy. But good for. I mean, as we all know, it should have happened. So.
All right, we'll be back. We will talk a little more ball, give you maybe a schedule update, schedule leak update, or you can go find that. We'll also go to JU, hopefully, before the end of the show and visit with Chris Hayes. What do you got for us today? A little play-by-play?
Yeah.
All right, we'll play-by-playing when we come back, too. Brent and Austen Show, the Action Sports Jacks, 24/7 Network.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater, plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location, right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Again with the Cowboys.
You say again with the Cowboys. I say again with the Chiefs. I'm tired of the Chiefs.
What were the Cowboys yesterday that we were talking about?
Cowboys.
Eagles.
They start the year, right?
Start of the year, first game of the year.
Was that yesterday or was that with Kim? I think Kim was here for that.
It might have been Monday, yeah.
No. I mean, I guess it had to be the Cowboys. But no.
You guys aren't fatigued on the Chiefs?
No.
I mean, here's the thing. You might be fatigued with them, but you'd still rather watch them than the freaking Panthers, the Cardinals.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's like...
You can say the Jags. Go ahead.
The Jags.
Well, I mean, I would much rather watch the Jags, but...
The Falcons.
I'd rather, yeah.
Colts.
Falcons, if the story's true, the Falcons have 4 games. That's ridiculous.
I don't think that's true.
4 primetime games. 2 Sundays and 2 Mondays is what the report is.
Who? Gross.
I think it was like, I forget who it is now. But,
well, gross. I'm sticking with gross. But, Drake London. I like Drake London.
I put
okay.
I put E. Dilla right in the middle of things today. I haven't had a chance to look at like all the comments, but I said earlier, I said the NFL should just forget about the whole, hey, we're going to hold this reveal until 8 o'clock. They should just like pick somebody, and it shouldn't even be like a media person because then they don't have to like play that game. That each team gets to pick somebody that puts the schedule out at like noon.
Could be any human.
Any human. Like it could be like for the Jags if they wanted Asher Grodman to do it.
Oh.
Right? Like, and that's just the schedule that comes out. Now, the video and everything can still come out a little bit later or whenever you want to do it. But
could also be just like a hobo or something.
It could be anything. But
that could be funny, though.
I said they should just pick Dilla to do it.
Okay.
Because he's got to have the schedule out by noon anyway.
That's fair.
So anyway, I just said that, kind of just kidding around. But, oh my gosh, the back and forth. Now people are confusing him with Yardline Yoda. Now we got back and forth about territorial rights on Twitter of who's breaking stories. I mean, this thing, I haven't seen them all, but it's getting pretty dicey out there.
That's great. I love that for y'all.
Sorry.
Good luck, though. Like, here's the thing. Am I wrong about this part? Like, the schedule comes out at 8, right? Yeah. In theory. Like, it's officially out at 8.
Yeah. Why, right?
Maybe it's why I didn't make it in this business, but, like, you're telling me y'all can't wait 8 more hours?
Well,
like, you're telling me it is so damn serious that you need to know who they're playing in November that you can't wait 8 more hours? Who cares?
Yeah, I just think like you, I mean, people thirst the NFL so much.
It's the most insane thing ever, in my opinion.
Hamby, I know Marcel's set. You tell me when coach is set. All right, and let me know when to go, or if we should venture into another, because we're not scheduled to get coach for a few more minutes, but if we get him early or we got to wait a little bit, just let us know.
All right.
And I don't know if you can push the buttons that you need to push on this, or we can hold that segment for right after coach.
No, let's go right now.
You want to go right now?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I just wait till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like,
who cares?
But I started the show a little bit with the human psychology because I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That people, if they know something, they can't help but say it. And far too many people know the schedule.
I actually think that's the biggest problem with the world, Brent. If you know something, you got to say it. You have no idea how many secrets I sit on all day.
But I don't think many people do. Like,
how?
If we had an experiment, my point is you could grab a person, right? And I put an experiment out, and I'm like, I'm going to tell you the schedule. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put a phone right next to you.
Yeah, no, I hear
for
you.
the whole day. And you can't tell anybody. And if you don't, I'll give you $1,000.
Yeah, people couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it.
I don't get that. Like, I don't understand the need. This actually goes back to autograph stuff. I don't understand the need to tell people stuff. Like, I've never understood it in my life.
Yeah, like, our business is built on that.
Sure.
I mean, we hope that people want to tell, but they do. My point is they want to. Like, sometimes I'm like, how does this stuff get out all the time? And then I'm just like, oh, that person knows something, and they want to tell you. They want to tell you that. And then it's up to you to go confirm, and hopefully, in our business at least, to go confirm and say, well, we hope another person's going to tell us too. Right? So that's the tricky part of our business. The first person telling you something is not usually the tricky part.
True.
The second person confirming it is the tricky part. Now, in today's social media world, and even on the Delaware or whatever else, he can throw whatever the heck he wants out there when the first person tells him.
Yeah.
and he even admitted today, he's like, listen, some of these are just rumors right now. Like, I think he said that somewhere along the way.
Well, yeah.
And he can, obviously.
That's fine. Like, if you you can do whatever you want.
Well, but people can't hold it in.
It blows my mind. I'm convinced.
I would think some people would people be mad today at the leakers? Like, man, I want to see it all. Like, for me, I want to see it all at once. Mm-hmm. I don't want a little nugget here. There. Now, if the Jags were to put something out at noon and say, hey, here's our primetime game, and it gets people talking for the whole day, and then the rest of the, you already did the Rams stuff yesterday. Mm-hmm. And maybe they threw another nugget out that's, just for the news cycle at 5 o'clock. Right? Like, hey, the opener.
That'd be big.
Like, I mean, I could see them doing that.
You guys might have to cut in on CBS and Fox.
Well, but it would give you
some. The Panthers!
I've got a 5:15 hit today on TV.
What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about every rumor that might be going on.
Ooh, I like that.
Like
the rumor mill.
I don't know what do you want me to say? Yeah, we think we know the whole schedule, but we really don't know the whole schedule.
You could go with drive.
Or as one of the places said in town today, it's official because Jordan Schultz tweeted it.
I saw that. I thought that was questionable.
That's questionable.
But listen.
But so is breaking or exclusivity when it's not exclusive.
So was when Byron Leftwich was the coach. You remember that? I remember that. That was a wild time. People just seem to forget. Sorry.
But I can't do all that at 5:15 tonight on CBS 47. That's the thing.
Then go out there.
I'm going to be like, hey, the schedule comes out tonight. We know the Rams game.
And by the
way, there are plenty of rumors that the Jags could get this and this, but it'll be confirmed at 8. Watch our special tonight at 8 o'clock.
And by the way,
meanwhile, 15 different people already have the whole schedule laid
why
out.
don't you see if they'll just cut the segment at 5:15?
Yeah, I might try that. But,
it's like, are you sure we can't do 3 weathers?
Yeah, let's just.
Has there ever been 3 weathers in 15 minutes? Like,
but isn't that funny? Like that's the world. Now here, if I wanted to, this was always fascinated to me about the different mediums we have. If on this show I want to sit here and say, "Hey, Dilla says this," boom, 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 it's all good.
All good.
I can't go on TV tonight and say Dilla says this.
Do you get fired instantly? How does that work, do you think?
I don't think you get fired for much anymore. Like I don't.
Well,
think
no,
it's
like I think you survive it.
So-
But like, let's say you set Liv up for failure, who's been on TV the least. If you sent Liv out there with that information, would that be bad for her? Like, is there a seniority thing that you could survive it, but like others could not?
I don't think anything in a scheduled thing is going to get fired.
Okay.
For saying.
Yeah, so just go out there and say whatever you want then.
Well, I'm not telling you that we couldn't do it. Say it. We couldn't. But there's another balance here, though. Like, if I go report it at 5:15, the Jags have basically asked us not to say anything until 8 o'clock on anything we know. So then you're burning that trust. Like, this goes back. This is kind of like my whole deal. Again, I'm fine waiting until 8. But the whole schedule's out by 8 o'clock. Like, we know that.
Yep.
Right? I'm fine waiting 8. This goes back to, like, when the Jags say you can't. Now, they've changed this. But for a long time, they would be like, hey, open training camp practices. Hey, media, you can't use your phone right here and tweet anything out. Meanwhile, the whole crowd is tweeting stuff out.
True.
It's like, what the hell? Like, how's the guy in the bleachers sharing a great catch from Allen Robinson?
That's
and
crazy.
we can't.
So if you were to win as a fan?
Yes, exactly.
That's insane.
So this feels like it a little bit. Like, it's like, yeah, we're right there. We could probably tell you some stuff, but we really can't. It's such an odd position to be in sometimes. But that's the position we're in tonight. What's that? Oh, we got Coach? We're good. Glad we didn't do the play-by-play thing. Instead, I just went on another soapbox about the industry.
Yep.
Well, we won't keep Coach Chris Hayes long. Let's get to him right now and say hello. Coach, I got so many soapboxes, especially around your sport. You probably wouldn't want to listen to them all.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Just give it to me. Keep it coming, man. Got to stand for something, right?
Absolutely. Hey, all right, I've got one for you. I was thinking of you the last week. Like, I'm losing sleep over college baseball these days. I'm going to try to, I'm big in my head, and I might do a show, and you've done a great job of this. It doesn't matter if I win or lose, keep in mind. But I'm going to build like a college baseball program these days. Like, that's going to be my project over the next month, how I would build it. And so I was thinking of you, because when I think of JU baseball, I know Chris Hayes, and I think like a style. I know you want to play a certain way. I feel like I know you want a certain guy. Like when you go get Jonah Shields and he's having a great year, I'm like, that fits the way Chris wants to play. Like I can see why that works. So
Absolutely.
in this world of transfer portal and everything that's moving and shaking right now in your sport and in college sports, do you feel like you can still be true to who you are and want to be and have been?
Well, first, welcome to my world, all right? Losing sleep over trying to build a program and trying to build a team and getting to finding the right guys, figuring out who they are and them figuring out who we are. That's a huge piece of it. Finding that marriage and then figuring out how to keep the marriage lasting for 4 or 5 years. I think you can. I think it's harder than ever, especially I think it's easier for some places. I think it's much more challenging and much more difficult for the rest of the world, for the rest of the industry. But you got to really be patient. You got to be diligent and keep leveraging your relationships and then sticking to your values. One, you got to know who you are. You got to know what it is you're looking for, and then continuing to beat that drum and to surround yourself with a bunch of people that get it as well.
Well, you just said a word that really has resonated with me over the last really couple weeks, but probably for a long time, but it's popping in my ears left and right, whether I hear Liam Cohen say it, whether I hear you say it, and it's relationship. And we live in like this transactional world, right? I mean, you live in a transactional world right now, and you're not even dealing with the, I don't think at least, the NIL stuff as much as some places are or could, or maybe you will, or maybe you are, I don't know. But how hard is that relationship part with a student athlete that you really value? Probably one of the reasons why you got into this business in a transactional world.
Yeah, right, and that's the way of, and for us, that's the way we're going to attack this thing. I mean, it is transactional, and it's turned into a transactional situation in so many places and for so many kids, and it's the way of how they've come up. They've come up through travel ball. And at high schools, you got, you can move from school to school every single year. Travel ball, you don't like this situation, well, you play for somebody else in the fall. Then you don't like that situation, you play for somebody else in the summer. You'd like to feel a little bit more loyalty and a little bit more permanency whenever you get to a destination type university. But you got to live in that world. You gotta sell it to the guys, and you got to help them understand that what loyalty means, what legacy means, and what do they really want to accomplish in their career, and how do they get there. So you got to invest in the person. You got to continue to invest in the person and their development. And for us, that's the way we're going about it. And fight for what we believe in, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, it's ever changing. I mean, it's different today than it was 18 months ago, 24 months ago. It's going to be different June's coming up, and for June, I mean, once the season gets over for the majority of the college baseball programs, June is chaos. Then there's nothing controlled about it. It is straight chaos. So much can change in 24 hours. And for us, trying to navigate what's going to happen in June, and hopefully it's a very dull summer for us. That would be ideal. That means we have a really good base, a good foundation, and our guys are going to stick around. But you never know. You don't really know what they're thinking until we get to that point. And you just continue to invest and stay true to who you are. I mean, really, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep trying to show our guys why they're here, invest in them, and give them the opportunity to succeed.
I like what you're saying there. I think that's the thing. You got to look in your mirror and say, who are we? Who are we trying to be? And you got to remind yourself of that probably more than once every 3 months. So I like that. Sorry, hey, went real deep with you early on. I mean, we're just supposed to talk about UNFJU baseball series
That's okay.
here. And we're going deep.
I'll go there with you. You know that, man. It won't take me long to get there, all right?
Hey, you got to be proud of this group. 27-22, 16-11. And, I actually was going to bring up that part. You can tell you have been able to develop specifically some of the arms. You feel pretty good about what you've been able to do at times. I mean, I know it's hard in a long season to do it the entire time, but you've got guys pitching for you now that have been around a little bit. You lost some guys in that portal last year that would have been front-end guys for you this time around, but I would think there's some satisfaction in how some of these players that you have are developing.
Yeah, and I mean, for the guys that we left, or the guys that left, that hurt us. We lost a lot of high-end talent. But I'm so, I guess I could say proud. I'm so proud of the guys that have worked through this and stuck around and really committed to us and committed to this program and this university. And then a lot of credit is going to go to the coaching staff, man. I mean, Colby Bortles, Casey Kalina, Turner Brown, they've done so much in continuing to foster that relationship with these kids and help them develop. I mean, when you got guys like Richie Long and Blake Barquin and Josh Steidel, Blake Delamalor, which you're very familiar with, and how they've continued to progress, grow, get better, and they're truly at their best that they've ever been right now. And it's awesome to see that growth and that development can happen. We're pretty happy with where we are. We're definitely not satisfied. We've had a tough go of it lately. We've lost four 1-run ball games in the last 6, and those games can be swung on one play, one pitch, one at bat, one decision on the base pass, and so we're fighting through it right now. But we're playing clean baseball. We're playing good baseball, And that's what's important. I mean, we've got a big one this weekend, with those guys across the street, and then getting ready for the ASUN tournament. We've put ourselves in a good spot. Would like to be in a better spot. But I don't know if I'm ever going to be completely satisfied with where we are. So we'll just keep on working at it.
Yeah, probably not. But you said it. I mean, you've lost some one-run ball games. And again, I mean, you're playing Florida State and Stetson in this stretch. I know you don't like to get swept, but Stetson's been really good this year. I think they only have 4 losses in conference play. So it's a quality team. You did that on the road. How are you kind of justifying this in your mind? Like, hey, playing clean baseball, we're right there, but you don't like losing 5 in a row heading down the stretch as well.
Yeah, and I mean, every opportunity, every time we get out there is another opportunity for us to answer, and to respond. It goes back to how we talk about the game and what we try to go after. We truly compete against the game. Who's in the other dugout matters, but doesn't matter as much as just competing against the game. And for our guys to go out, and if they can continue to execute and do the things they need to do they know what they need to do to have success, we're going to end up on the good side. And for us, they know the carrot is 2 weeks from now. The carrot. Yeah, we've got an opportunity to finish the season strong this weekend, but ultimately what they're fighting for is playing not this Sunday but next Sunday for that ASUN championship and that ring and that opportunity to go into the postseason. And so they know that they've got something ahead of them that they're going to continue to work for. This is a very mature, resilient group. With some talent some young guys that have a lot of talent. And the older guys have done a great job of showing how to respond to adversity. We've got some right now, which is not a bad thing because it keeps them sharp. Like you said, it is a long season. So you wonder how dull does it get for them at times. I think the game has gotten their attention, and I think they'll be hungry and they'll be ready to go this weekend.
Well, I think both this series, obviously there's some bragging rights, crosstown, all that, but momentum into the ASUN is also what you guys are playing for. But you're locked in, too, right? So that you guys know you're going to the ASUN. You're not battling for a spot right now. Is that an interesting balance, or is it doesn't matter? It's JU-UNF, and it's full go, and no big rah-rah speeches for you this weekend.
Yeah, not really. I mean, and it's whether it's whoever it is in the other dugout, and obviously I'm not going to downplay JU-UNF. I mean, it's always a fun environment on the field. There's a lot of respect for what those guys are doing over there. I really like those guys, and shoot, man, one of them used to coach with me, and I know that they're going to be ready, and they've got those guys playing really well, which is not surprising because there's some really good coaches over there, and but for us, yeah, this is. It's unique because both teams are in. There's a little bit of positioning that can occur, and seeding and stuff like that as a result of what's going on this weekend. But overall, we know we're playing next week. They know they're playing next week. We all know we're going to be playing next Tuesday. And so it's really positioning yourself, making sure your guys stay healthy, they get enough work, they stay sharp, and preparing yourself for next week. And that's kind of the way that we go into this weekend.
I'm not even going to try to explain through the ASUN tournament. It's a little quirky. I don't know if it's the best one. I know they try different things. There's RPI related. There's all this stuff. So we'll figure that out next week. So I got 2 more questions for you in regards to this. You're about to practice in a couple of minutes. What do you try to accomplish this time of year at practice?
Well, it's stay sharp. Remind them of everything that we need to do. We'll touch on a few things. It's not going to be a very long one, but it's going to be, touch on some of our team defensive stuff. Make sure that we cover the routine stuff, some of the PFP, pitcher's fungo practice, and just making sure they know how do we cover first base on a ball that's, in the triangle between first, second, and the pitcher, and how do we communicate, reinforcing the communication of stuff, and, working on just the mechanics of a first and third play or the bunt defense, stuff like that was what we'll work on today, just to touch it, because this will be the last time we do. Because even next week, we'll take Sunday off, we'll practice Monday very light, and then we play Tuesday. So this is really the last time we get to touch on any kind of team-oriented stuff. And then we'll take batting practice just to try to stay sharp and keep the hitter sharp. A couple of bullpens going on, down in the pavilion, and that's a wrap for today. So it's not an overwhelmingly long practice. It's more of just staying sharp, reminding the guys what they need to do, what the responsibilities are on certain plays, kind of almost a walkthrough in some of it, and then we get out of here. So it's really about staying fresh as possible.
Yeah, and man, that place behind you is looking great. You're pretty happy with what you guys have been able to do over there at John Sessions Stadium, and any new projects coming up this summer or in the off season?
Oh, there's always projects, man. I got a list of about 20 of them. It just depends on how much time you got. We can talk about them.
Looks good, though.
Facility itself's in great shape. They've done a great job of keeping the field in great shape. With this rain, I'm thankful that we were not in town this past weekend, man, because it was soaked here when we got back Sunday night. And I just walked the surface whenever we got back, Sunday night, and just realized, like, holy smokes, man, there was a lot of rain out here this weekend. The field's drying out. We're going to be in good shape, and the grass really appreciates all that rain they got this weekend. So facility's going to be great. Playing surface going to be in really good shape, and it'll be a fun weekend. I can promise you that.
All right, Chris Hayes with us, JU baseball coach. Before we let you go, you still doing fungos and BP throwing, and which one are you better at?
Definitely better fungo-wise. I'll never be able to take the bat out of my hand. My guys, as I've gotten older and a couple surgeries have set me back, I've been able to surround myself with some pretty good BP throwers. And, it's about providing confidence for those guys, our hitters, and whatever makes them feel best about us hitting their barrel is what we're going to roll with. And so I don't throw as much BP, which I think some of the pitchers may really appreciate, or some of the hitters may appreciate, because every once in a while I get a little chippy on them and put them in their place. I don't know. I just get a little aggravated with them when they don't do what they're supposed to do, So I've backed off of throwing as much, but the fungo, man, I can't take the bat out of my hand, and I love working with those infielders.
7 o'clock on Thursday, 7 o'clock on Friday, and 1 o'clock on Saturday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday set over there on the campus of Jacksonville University. Hey, man, it looks like you're having fun with this group, so good luck the rest of the way, and we'll keep watching.
Man, I appreciate talking to you, man. See you soon.
All right, that is Chris Hayes, the JU baseball coach, and they run into a little bit of it in the last 5, but they lost at Queens 3-2. Then they had Florida State on the road, then number 2 in the country, and then Stetson, and 2 of those were run ball games. I mean, they'd be over 30 wins right now, so they're right there. They're good. They're good. Good team. It's going to be a tough series this week for both squads, and then the A-Sun's interesting. We know there's good baseball in the A-Sun, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Jason Hamby. Hey, we can go until even 1 and then play the commercial. Don't worry, we got time. Play-by-play time.
We're doing it?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay. All right.
We go forever.
No.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Marcel Robinson. That was pretty fast. Marcel got UNF, then over to JU. I couldn't believe how fast he got to JU.
Shout out to the police force here in Jacksonville, who clearly gave Marcel a police escort. There is no other way around that. So shout out to the work there. But yeah, bro was cooking. Also, great shot, by the way. That was
cool.
Not a JU supporter by any means.
You're a UNF guy.
But it looked good, Marcel.
Hard not to like Chris Hayes.
I didn't say anything about that. I said the shot looked good.
Hey, Hamby, you could go to JU UNF coming out of Providence. Where are you picking?
Give me the good news, Hamby.
For baseball or in general?
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, play baseball.
Give me the good news.
Because you got Daniel Murphy was hanging around that Providence with Jonathan Murphy. Like, is there some influence there? You looking up to Daniel Murphy coming out of JU? Or
no?
Were you watching Donnie DeWeese play at UNF at the time when you were in high school?
I played a lot more at JU than I did at UNF, and I always enjoyed it. And one of the furthest balls I've ever hit in my life was at JU, dead center. So that's
a graveyard too, I think.
So what? It was a fly out. You hit a pop fly at JU, is what I'm hearing.
No, it was a double.
It was a double. Good.
So I think I actually picked JU.
All right. Just curious. It's a good pick either way.
I think so.
No, it ain't.
Well, I'm going to say it's a good pick either way.
That's terrible.
I've never had to make that decision, so.
Unreal.
All right, let's go. Play by play. What we got?
I don't know. All right. So the first one, we're going to compare you to another prime broadcaster. You both will have the same clip from the Jacksonville Armada. Yeah, you'll go against Stuart Weber. We'll see.
Weber will be way better. Weber's pretty good, man. He's underrated good.
I at no point
I don't know what a good
bad.
soccer play-by-play guy is. Like, I'm not sure, but I like to listen to Weber.
Yeah, no, Weber, he's doing his thing, so now you're going to get the opportunity to one-up him. Situation this, end of the first half. It's already 2-0. This is the third goal. Giancarlo Vaccaro is your goal scorer.
Giancarlo Vaccaro.
Yep. I don't think you need to write it down. I just told you, and the clip's like 6 seconds.
Here we go, Brent. Ready?
Giancarlo. What's the score of the game going in? Do we know?
Read the left. Here we go.
2-0.
All right, 2-0 game, 45th minute, right before the half, and Giancarlo Vaccaro gets loose. What the heck was the goaltender doing?
Keeper.
That's a score.
You're going to see it one more time.
The keeper totally goes for it and misses. What a whiff. Much like that scoreboard that was acting up as well.
Wow. So you got on Stewart for calling out our mistakes, and now you're going to call out our mistakes in the.
I had to do it just for
in the interim. Okay.
Watch how far he slides.
Wow, yeah, almost went right into the post there.
All right, so that was your attempt at it.
And it's a keeper, by the way, not a goaltender.
Yeah, we both said that as it happened. All right, that was your attempt at it. Do we have the Stuart Weber version? I hope I left the audio on that one, Hamby. If I did, turn it up significantly.
I remember that play.
Here's Zettel. Vaccaro able to stay on, off his chest, stays alive, and a chance to make it 3. Giancarlo Vaccaro into the back of the net for the Jacksonville Armada in stoppage time of the first half.
Very good.
Yeah, I think his was better.
Well, you know what I like about it? He does a good job with the. Watch this right here. The name.
3. Giancarlo Vaccaro into the back of the net for
Nice.
the Jacksonville.
Kind of rolled off the tongue. Nice. Good little cadence there.
Yeah.
That was good. And I liked, see how I said almost halftime? He said stoppage time.
Yeah, he knew something about soccer.
Yeah. But he said like stop, I mean, because that was like right on, right?
It was 0-2.
It just went 45-02 or something.
Yeah, Stewart, an experienced soccer broadcaster. So you'll have another shot at soccer. Just give it a second.
Oh, boy.
Hamby, this one's you, dog. I'll set you up. This is a bases loaded 9th inning situation. I believe your hitter is Joey Bart for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Joey Bart, the former Clemson guy?
Joey Bart of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I have no idea anything else other than that.
Oh,
First,
you should have him on an autograph.
Yep, I was watching this live.
Second overall pick by the Giants. Didn't work out. Ended up on the Pirates. Ends up at the plate. Bases loaded. Raisel Iglesias is your pitcher. Hamby, what happened from there?
All right, we got a tie ball game. Oh, that one's through the 5-6, so we're coming home with it. And the Braves are going to lose on another walk-off. They continue to fail to get to 500. They are allergic to getting to 500 on the year. They've lost 6 games out of the last 2 weeks by 1 run. Every game they've played in the last 2 weeks has come by 1 run, and Joey Bart, on his 3rd stop in his MLB career, does it to him. Raisel Iglesias continues to struggle. It's another tough one here in Atlanta.
Yeah, there we go. Another Braves loss. Do we have time for the last one, do we think?
Yeah, we do. We got plenty of time.
Okay, so the situation is this. We're going back to
that
soccer.
guy got a great jump off third base, by the way.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't realize it was the 9th inning. I was like, what are you coming home for right there? You're not getting him. But it was the 9th.
Yeah, that was it.
You're going to have the LA Galaxy.
LA Galaxy.
Of Major League Soccer.
MLS.
Against Sporting Kansas City. This is the situation. I don't know bro's name, so you're just going to have to dance around that. These are the 2 worst teams in the sport.
Oh.
It's not even close. They are terrible. The LA Galaxy won one of the things last year. I forget. Not the whole league, but they won one of the in-season tournaments. So they're supposed to be good. 2 of the worst teams in the league. You've got Kansas City on the attack. I want to hammer this point home.
Kansas City's on the attack.
Kansas City is on the attack. The LA Galaxy are defending their net.
Okay.
Understand?
What's Kansas City's full name?
Sporting
Kansas City?
Yes.
Okay. And it's the LA Galaxy.
The LA Galaxy.
Okay. They fighting Patrick Mahomes, who I think he owns a little part of this team. Sporting KC with the ball, entering close to the box, right around the 18 mark. Oh, a nice pass in, and off the goalie. No, off the defender of the LA Galaxy for an own goal.
Impressive.
That was pretty good. So the way this thing played out, that was the only goal.
Got it, baby Yoshida.
That was the only goal of the game.
Wow.
Sporting Kansas City did not have a shot.
I got to work on my landmarks here, like entering the box, 18. Isn't it called the 18?
Uh-huh. They won 1-0 because of an own goal. 0 shots they had.
But you know, like the own goals happen quite a bit in soccer, right?
They didn't shoot.
That's the point that I'm trying to hammer home. They did not take a shot in the game and won because of the own goal. But yes,
normally there's 30 shots in a game.
Not for them.
Doesn't Mahomes own part of that team?
I think it's the women's team that he owns part of.
Okay.
And also, I want to hammer this point home. The LA Galaxy followed that up with a 7-0 loss this week. So the LA Galaxy have really screwed this thing up.
That's crazy. That's a good stats. I almost like the stats more than the play-by-play opportunity. That
was good.
As we learn about Sporting Jacks. If Weber's not listening, I'm going to have all this soccer knowledge next time I see him.
There you go.
All right, we're back at it tomorrow. Schedule a release party tonight at 8 o'clock on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, plus no gate fees at 2. Cup date up next.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 14.